fun was yesterday.
Dude.
So fun. And thanks to you boys.
For real.
Seriously.
For real. I owe you guys. I texted you both. I texted the group. You guys made the night for us.
Bussin with the Boys. I am your host, Will Compton. My co-host, who is still in Vegas right now, Taylor Lewan. Welcome to episode 263. Before we jump into everything, make sure if you're watching on YouTube, Rumble, listening on audio, whether it be Spotify, Apple, whatever the case may be, please make sure you are subscribed to the Boys. That helps us tremendously. If you're here for the Bert and Tom episode, you can, if you're not for the boys, if you don't want to be for the boys and listen to the intro, you can skip ahead probably like 45 to 50 minutes. You'll find it there. Mitch, our producer, he does a great job leaving chapters. So if you're on YouTube and you want to go to the chapters, just go ahead and click ahead to which your favorite chapter, whatever you want to listen to. This week, this episode, we dive into the Super Bowl recap, why the NFL is fake, the Super Bowl game next year, Patrick Mahomes. We get into some big moments last night. Travis Kelce's Pfizer rage when approaching Andy Reid, Dre Greenlaw's injury, some of the big moments, the halftime show, all of it. We also recap Vegas. And then we get into, of course, the prediction for next year. With Bert and Tom, we recap the blackjack tournament, the boys, the media day, what it's like embodying and embracing being for the boys, appreciating success, reading comments. We get into a lot of stuff. It's a very fun conversation. We hope you guys enjoy. We're going to kick off this episode, but first, we are proud to let you know that we are presented by the Chevy Silverado, our longtime partner of the show, with commanding and unstoppable grit, legendary capability, and dependability as well. We say it all the time. We've all spent time, seat time, as they like to call it in the biz, behind the wheel of a Silverado. We're just not truck guys. We're Chevy truck guys. You know about the ZR2 family of trucks, lifted and ready for anything right from the factory. Now the Silverado is taking it all to the next level with even more Silverado truck tech, like the available Super Cruise. Only Super Cruise that lets you drive hands-free and tow hands-free on more than 400,000 miles of compatible roads. With over 138 million miles of hands-free driving by customers, Super Cruise will help you get your adventure energized, and it'll help you drive all the way home. Go to Chevy.com where you can check out the Silverado, build your own Silverado online, and learn important details about the Super Cruise. That sounds incredible. A truck that's driving and compatible with, what does it say, 400,000 miles of compatible roads with their technology, and you can just drive hands-free. We might have to level up, boys. But enjoy this episode. Again, make sure you're subscribed, leave comments, engage with us, follow us on social media at Bussin WTB. Big hugs, tiny kisses. Enjoy the episode. This is it? This is what you took so long for?
No, I had to fix the equipment. I knew it wasn't going to be any crazy. You got to put it on. You have to.
Why?
If they weren't. You said they weren't going to make the playoffs.
Was that a bet?
It's a bet that I just made up right now.
Where did that jersey come from?
My house. Yeah.
You just buy it?
No, I've had that.
Oh, that's the tag hanging out. I thought it was like an actual jersey.
So you just bought this jersey?
No, I've had that.
I mean, it's Jamal Charles.
Exactly.
You want me to wear it? I have to wear it because of what? Now that the Chiefs won, you trying to figure out some bet that I lost?
You've been talking crazy about the Chiefs all year long. It's about time you have some sort of punishment. For 2 years in a row, too.
It's about time.
Amen. What a punishment. We got you. Whole world is shitting on me now. I don't know how I step outside anymore.
Here we go. know it wasn't worth it, but to me, it means a lot now that you're wearing the red. You have to eat your words. It is what it is.
All right, so I just want everybody to know I didn't lose. Are we rolling? Fuck, I waited 20 minutes outside for you to just lay a jersey on the chair. But just so we're clear, I'm wearing this jersey just for the love of the game. Because there was no bet that I had to wear this jersey if the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Just you as a fair weather Chiefs fan, which, by the way, I forgot that you were until you posted your celebratory post last night about it always being the Chiefs. Yeah, I've talked a lot of shit to Chiefs Kingdom. And good fun. But I was wrong again. Which I will say this, that is fucking crazy that they've won back-to-back years in a row. Because like the trolling is all in good fun, but and then you gotta lean into it more and more, because this year there was zero doubt in my mind that they weren't going to win the Super Bowl. Like throughout the season, I'm like, oh, this is just, finally Chiefs Kingdom will go down type of thing. Like I'll get to kind of fuck with people and everything else, but they did it again. I mean, how many? They've won what, 3 Super Bowls in the last five years? Yo, Patrick Mahomes, he's on pace to be the greatest athlete of all time. By the time his career's not like, you know what I mean? It won't be something that you look back on his career and compare to the greats. He can be the greatest of all time, like while he's playing. I mean, I guess Tom was kind of doing that.
I think they're on the exact same pace.
Because Tom went to another team. It's like, oh, can he do it without Belichick? Which I'm sure that argument, like that fun little debate, I should just say it just for a clip too. Like, I should just be like, I mean, at what point is Mahomes going to win a Super Bowl without Andy Reid?
Or Travis Kelce.
That's what we need. Yeah, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. I mean, he's had the perfect situation the entirety of his career. Like, let him go win one without Travis Kelce and Andy Reid, and then we can start talking about him being the greatest of all time. And cut.
You think the number one issue that people are talking about is the decision to receive on?
Yeah, I know. I understand the side on wanting to defer. To me, it's not clear cut that you want to like defer. Like if you go down and score a touchdown, but if the way everybody was talking was like, oh, it was known, like this is exactly what you should do. You should defer, you should defend. And then if they score, you go down and go for 2 points. Like it's just an absolute no-brainer. But they just got off the field. The defense just got off a long drive. Like everybody's gassed. And so the decision, like if you defend, you're also putting the defense back out there on the field when they probably need a breather. Like, yeah, it's overtime. It's a Super Bowl. It's what you play for and everything else. But I don't think it was like a dumb decision.
Yeah.
If you go down and score, I think you do have to think about, do we go for 2 here? Because again, it's like if you get the 4th down, are you punting? If the Niners score, the Chiefs get 4 downs every possession, which is like, yeah, high stress, but at least you get 4 downs to get a 1st down. So I don't think it's like that clear cut of a decision that you just have to defend. Like I saw Big Cat saying this is the dumbest sports Super Bowl decision of all time, and it's like, Big Cat, he's gonna die on the hill of whatever he believes in the analytics world. Without, I have no clue. But to me, it wasn't that definitive that you had to defend. What are your thoughts, JP?
Well, I just think the tough part was Juszczyk and some of the other 49ers players saying we had no idea about the rule. In that, and so that was where the whole preparation, like everybody's getting on Kyle Shanahan because he's 0-3 in Super Bowls. His team wasn't prepared for that overtime. They didn't know the rules. So that's just kind of, I don't know. I'm a Kyle Shanahan fan, but
same. Which is insane because the ref did an incredible job explaining it, like on the field in real time. Like I had forgotten until the rules were up there and everything else. I was like, oh shit, they're both getting the possession. Yeah, I mean, if that's the case and they regret taking the ball, then that's fully on, that's bad. That's not fully preparing. But to me, it's like no matter what, you got to go down, you got to score. And if you score, you have that you have that momentum. Fuck, man. They did it, though. I mean, what a fucking Super Bowl. It was boring in the first half. I caught myself. I even started to doze one time. But second half was electric. It was a great Super Bowl. Man, I felt so shitty on that first drive for CMC fumbling that rock. But then the Chiefs did it, so it's like, okay, that's a wash. They both had very big time fumbles that shouldn't have happened. First half, I felt like the Niners dominated the first half, even though the score didn't reflect that. Like, I thought outside of a couple explosive plays that they gave up to kind of allow the Chiefs to get their 3 points or make it interesting, I thought the Niners really they were the more physical football team in the trenches. And then that second half, man, kind of going back and forth and everything else, and just Mahomes, last drive, Super Bowl, OT, what a kick.
Yeah, I think the ultimate shot in the foot was when they fumbled the punt.
That was so big.
God.
Sick, bro. Sick.
That's what made it seem scripted.
Hey, the scripted, right before I walked on the bus, Clump just sent me an article, like, I want to say the local Sports Illustrated in Vegas. There's an article up now, shocking. Former Las Vegas Raider shocks the NFL world, saying it's all fake.
Are you the former Las Vegas Raider?
Dog. Obviously I put that one up last night, like, you chuckling, being like, oh, this will be funny for like Chiefs Kingdom and everything else. But I mean, that fucking tweet, I wake up this morning and people are like, I have no clue. It's such a wild troll that it's like, I'm projecting because I lost my $5,000 bet. I'm also getting the troll and lean into it being fake because that was such a headline like a year ago and everybody was having fun with it. So I'm like leaning into that to almost like troll the people who say it's fake, but the people who are like saying that it's real are so mad that I'm leaning into that. It's like, oh, you got to understand the influence you have on these idiots. And it's like, what are we fucking talking about? Like, it's Twitter. But anyway, we're going viral right now from me saying that yeah. I saw DB too, Darren. He was like, bro, what's up with you? And then I saw a couple people under his comments. He's a Barstool guy now. He just wants click, and he's like, facts. I'm just thinking, man, what are people going through in their heads that they're so upset with some good old fashioned Twitter fun, like DB, like I just wasn't a little fuckboy in the locker room all the time. But yeah, and also the massive partnership shout out. Here, let's stay on the Super Bowl for a second. I feel so bad for Dre Greenlaw.
Oh,
Wasn't it Achilles?
you can see it snap.
Bro, Dre Greenlaw, like maybe one of the unluckiest injuries of all time. Like being that hype, like being on that defense and being a cat like Dre Greenlaw on that defense, being excited, like my man is just hyped to get out there and go fucking hunt again. And just to get sniped with your Achilles and he just drops to the ground before they go out there, that is brutal, man. George almost went down. You saw the boy go back to the locker room, get the little shoulder sleeve on and come back out ready to go. By the way, that cat too, right before George came in, that backup tight end got that holding call. Fuck. Oh, which it was a holding call. Or was it?
Probably not. Everything that
Might have
needed
been
to
scripted.
happen for Pat Mahomes to have the opportunity for a game-winning drive happened.
Yeah.
But you also got to hit on one of the main storylines of the game, Travis Kelce versus Andy Reid. That was crazy.
That was crazy. Travis Kelce getting pissed off at Andy Reid and kind of chest checking him like that was nuts. That was nuts. Never, like, I was about to say I've never seen no shit like that. I mean, obviously you see players get heated and get upset with their coach, but for a guy like Travis Kelce, that high up on the team, like that much history, like just being that kind of guy on the Kansas City Chiefs and being tight with Andy Reid, to do that little chest check And what are they in here too? I think it's like the first quarter.
I think it was
The end of the first, start of the second.
no, I think it was right when that fumble happened, and he was pissed that he wasn't in the game for it.
Like he wasn't still gonna. Well, I don't understand. Like he wasn't still gonna fumble the ball or what?
No, I think like maybe like the play call would have been different if he was in the game.
Yeah, but bro, losing your composure like that and in that fashion and having that like it's very documented that Travis Kelce plays with a lot of passion. Like he's had instances where he gets pissed off. He's mad at the refs. He's mad at a call. He's mad about something, right? But that little chest check was insane. Like that was insane. And everybody else saying like, if it would have been somebody else, they'd be I mean, yeah, probably, but Travis Kelce's clearly he's not going to get benched. But bro, if you were Travis, I'm curious to know too, like as he got pissed off and chest checked him and kind of seen Andy stumble, like in your mind, like, I don't know. I would probably be like, oh shit, hey, that's my bad. That dude was so pissed. And that was absurd.
Could you imagine if he actually knocked him over?
Lucky Andy's athlete.
Yeah. I mean, he basically made him stumble. And then it like, you're setting everyone's watching the Super Bowl, right? Like everybody who looks up to Travis Kelce is like, it's kids show. Kids are watching. SpongeBob, man. You got the Nickelodeon crew out there watching. You can't be chest checking your head ball coach like that. Like there's got to be that level of respect that you always keep and never go over that line. And that was the line. You went over that line chest checking Andy Reid.
And I don't know how the Chiefs is set up. Does Andy Reid call the plays or does the OC?
Oh,
Because it's like, isn't Matt Nagy responsible for like who's going in and out?
yeah. But if you're Andy, it's like, what do you fucking like? Jesus, fucking go on the sideline. What do you? Yeah, okay, we'll get it right. Take it, fucking relax.
Like Andy Reid though, handled himself so well because a lot of coaches would fire back and be like, "I'm top dog here. Like you don't talk to me like that. You don't push me." And he kind of just stay composed. I can't remember who pulled Travis back really quickly, but they kind of just went with it. And in the post game, Andy was like, the guy just wants to be in there, and he's just like, at the end of the day, he just loves the ball. So
that's what I'm saying, though. It speaks to how good their relationship is. That does not mean and justify what Travis did at all.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, you see how close the relationship is that it would be like that. I'm sure Travis does, like, oh, I shouldn't have done that in the heat of the moment. Andy knows that he's such a passionate player and everything else, but there should still be zero space for doing that. You would love to see him try to chest check Vrabel like that. Ray's putting him in the ground, dude. Yeah, but that was nuts. That was crazy. And I was laughing so hard seeing everybody talk about the vaccine and Pfizer, and they found out he got the J&J and not this. And it's another one? Moderna? Oh, that's one too. I sound a little too like I know them all, like I got them all sitting in me right now. But no, that was funny. That was a moment. Halftime show. You thought it was boring?
Talking to the mic.
Come on, Mitch.
Mitch, you got to remember, Mitch is too young to appreciate Usher. It wasn't in his era.
That's true.
That's not true.
I was literally saying that
how
as a
old are
joke.
you?
I'm 25.
He's 3 years younger than me.
I know. Listen, okay. I don't know many Usher songs like everybody else does.
You don't know, yeah.
I know, yeah.
Let It Burn.
How does Let
Just
It Burn
burn.
go?
Just burn.
Just burn. Sorry.
How does that one go?
Let it burn. Let it burn. Gotta let it burn. Deep down, you know it's there.
I know, yeah, and I know Love in This Club.
The thought of it being when someone else, but you know that it's over.
Yeah, no.
Damn.
I knew, yeah, I knew.
What about Love in This Club?
I knew Love in This Club,
Yeah, Bieber.
Yeah.
and that's it.
You know
Honestly.
Confessions?
These are my confessions.
Maybe
When I
I thought I said all I can say, my chick on the side.
people were
One on
pissed
the
that
way.
Justin Bieber didn't come out because they wanted to sing "Baby" together.
That's
That would
not
have set
even
it off
Usher's
even
song.
more.
It's not an Usher song.
No,
Okay, well,
it's ludicrous.
That's crazy. You can't appreciate that greatness that was out there on
I thought it
stage
was
at the halftime
sick.
show.
I just didn't I didn't know many of the songs, so I was like, okay, this is cool, but I'm like, I didn't know many of the songs, so I couldn't enjoy it like everybody else did.
Come on,
Even the
Mitch.
dance moves.
You know what you're sounding like?
That's
You're
what I
kind,
look
you
like
kind
in
of
the
like
mouth.
got like a reverse boomer mentality going on. Like if they're hearing some new age shit, and your dad's sitting there talking about like, oh, this was boring, and you're like, oh, just blah blah blah. You are being exactly that right now.
I didn't say it was. I mean, I just didn't know the.
You sat back and you said boring.
Run it back.
That's why I stopped.
You didn't even like the dance moves.
No, I like the dancing and stuff was cool for sure. I'm talking loud enough.
Alicia Keys, Luda.
No, the Luda part and Lil
Yeah,
Jon, that was
Lil
hype.
Jon?
I know who Alicia Keys is, yeah. But like that when Lil Jon and Luda came out, I'm like this is kind of hype.
It's kind of lame.
I mean, it was 2003 out there. There's not an ounce of age that's on any of them, bro. That shit is mind blowing, is it not? Like they look in their prime still,
That man took his wife beater off. Like,
bro. Yes, man. Like fuck, he still looks incredible.
I mean, imagine
I really
being
don't crack,
imagine being Alicia Keys' husband watching that.
bro. I know all the memes that have been coming out.
Like, oh god.
Yo, yeah, no, that shit was that was hype, and you know, Mitch and people like you, that's embarrassing that you guys don't appreciate the greatness that was in that halftime show last
I'm
night.
not saying I didn't appreciate it.
You
I'm not
did-
saying I didn't appreciate
You
it.
definitely did not appreciate it. You said
I didn't
boring.
appreciate it as much as everybody else did. I thought like his dancing and shit was like very very good and all like, but the songs and stuff I didn't know the songs, so I couldn't appreciate it as much as.
Yeah, you just don't get it. It's all good, but it's nuts that you're gonna claim like you didn't know what was going on out there.
I promise you, I knew 2 songs.
you wanted Bieber.
Baby, baby.
Not even an Usher song.
Want to see Usher sing it though. So I saw somebody say, what did they say? It was like, does Usher and R. Kelly have a song?
Yeah, same girl.
Same girl. Yeah. Somebody was like, yo, R. Kelly comes out and they just start singing
Same girl.
Like how fucking. What were other headlines from the Super Bowl?
Man,
Heads, hey, heads. Heads hit.
Oh,
Coin of
that's
Destiny.
the other one I missed.
head.
Yeah, so I fought 2 of them.
Coin of Destiny, man.
So Mancini was in town. He put a bet before the game that the Niners would be up. In under 2 minutes, the Chiefs would drive and have a game winner, and it counted going into overtime. Plus 1,300.
Wow. Good Mancini. dude.
Waited the whole game for the
Were
last
you
2
hyped?
minutes.
Because I knew he surprised. It was a surprise.
Yeah, it was
He
cool.
surprised you.
Yeah, it was cool. I kind of had a feeling, and then I kind of forgot about it
Yeah.
because multiple people when we were in Vegas were like, "Oh, like Justin's coming," and I was like, "No, like he would be here in Vegas."
Yeah.
And I think they kind of realized like, "Oh shit, maybe I wasn't supposed to say that." But
He also had another bet that was 49ers to be leading at half and then Chiefs to win the game because it went to overtime. It doesn't count. It was like Chiefs to win in regulation. And because it goes to OT, bet was, it doesn't.
fourth down conversion, he had some.
Oh, damn.
I did not hit anything.
I lost my 2. Yeah. I did the Niners money line. Was hyped to put 5,000 on a bet. I was like, yeah, let's just fucking do it. After the winnings in Vegas, it's like, let's just do it. And truly thought for sure they're going to like win the game. Obviously. But
Probably the last one. I know you're talking about Mahomes entering the GOAT conversation, but Andy Reid
yeah, I think Andy Reid has to be, man.
gotta be.
Did he win with the Eagles?
No,
He went to the
just
Super Bowl
went.
though, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an incredible head coach, man. He is an incredible head coach. The creativity, the resolve, it seems like everybody respects him in the locker room. Like I've never gotten to be around him outside of doing the media day stuff.
He showed love too.
He did. He's like, oh, you guys are crazy. But I'm thinking, yeah, he's an icon. He truly seems like a very well respected. There's nothing bad that's ever said about Andy Reid. Yet I've heard. It's like, you know, Belichick's one of the greatest of all time, but you always hear the stories about the Patriot way and this or that, the other behind the scenes. But I've never heard anything like that about Coach Reid. Like I've heard nothing but just amazing things. Like I bet he is like, I mean, I don't know without all the side by sides and stats and everything else, but he's definitely got to be a top 3 of all time without even looking at it.
Eagles got to be sick.
Letting him go. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, you got the way the NFL is with head coaches, like these those people are ready to move on if you don't give them what they want right away, like a Super Bowl. You know, Sirianni with the Eagles. It's like he won the Super Bowl and then he was on the hot seat this past year. But yeah, Andy Reid, he's got to be one of the greatest. I mean, that pairing of Andy Reid, Mahomes, and I don't think Travis is retiring. Like it doesn't seem like he's slowing down at all. Like, do they three-peat? I gotta.
They won't.
Yeah, they won't.
Run through their schedule right now.
Yeah, they're not gonna make the playoffs next year. No, honestly, I do think it'd be hype, but you know, people who don't listen to our pod that only understands the evil side of me out there on the Chiefs. Listen, they're going down next year, but seeing a team three-peat would be fucking sick.
And is the only quarterback that can defeat Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow.
He'll be back next year. I mean,
He's
yeah,
the only one that's beaten
he's the
him.
only one that's beat him. Yeah, you know, like it's playing out to be like Josh Allen is like the Dan Marino of this generation, where it's just like one of the best talents that just can't get it done. Charles Barkley was like that too. Yeah,
Yeah, no ring.
no ring, man. Josh has got to. I mean, I want him to get one, bro. Who knows if it'll happen? KC's got a lot of free agents coming up, but last year they had a lot of turnover and they still made it happen. It's like as long as Mahomes is there and Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, some of them cats. And shout out to Hardman having that game winner. You know, after the year he's had, like that's got to feel amazing to have that game winner.
He apparently didn't know that he caught the game-winning pass, is what Patrick Mahomes said in the post game.
He said he blacked out, like
Yeah,
as
he
the
just
play
was
happened.
like, I guess he said as soon as Patrick was like lifting him up, he's like, we won, and he's like, what? Like, and then all of a sudden it's just confetti and everything else. But
It's got to be crazy. You hit that touchdown, there's no extra point on that. Like it's just over. You're looking around for any laundry on the ground. Like if there's a penalty, there was an illegal man downfield. I believe if you frame it frame by frame, there might have been an illegal man downfield.
You see the over under just missed by like 0.5 of a point because they didn't kick that extra point.
No way.
Because I think,
What was the final score of the game?
25-22.
and it's closed at 47 and a half.
19-19.
Sickening.
And the 49ers, their team total like was behind, I think by like it was 23 and a half and it was 22.
That is so brutal. You think back, like you miss an extra point or it got blocked, right? And did you see when what's the Chiefs kicker's name? Butker? When he had that long one and it was low and Randy Gregory's hand is literally right next to the ball. The script, man. It's just fake. It's fake as hell. Oh man. That's gonna be fun. I can't wait till the intro's over and I can get back to my phone and get back to trolling everybody online. Yeah. Somebody's like, "What do you know?" I'm like, "Oh, I only played 10 years in the league." Well, actually 9. Now Roger went to mess around with the 10th one. Like it's all fake. People just getting triggered. Jason unhinged. Let's see this. Let's see that clip.
Yeah. He's in
Oh, yeah, with the
he's in
mask.
a Nacho Libre mask. Just having the time of his life. But internet's
We can't confirm that it's him.
Dude, partying in Vegas afterwards. I feel so fucking bad for Kittle and CMC and that whole squad. They've been to the Super Bowl. Well, last year they felt like they got robbed from the Super Bowl because they lost their quarterbacks. Look at Jason Kelce just getting after with the Marshmallow Man.
I thought it was kind of hype that what's her name, is it Kylie or Jason's wife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wasn't wearing Chiefs gear. She was wearing Cincinnati gear. She's just like, I can't wear Chiefs gear, but I will wear red. She was just wearing Cincinnati gear though.
Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah. No, Cincinnati, like the college where they went.
Oh, got you. I thought they were like black and white for whatever reason.
She seems like very authentic. Just like,
She's dope.
yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, she does seem sick.
She does a lot of cool stuff in charity too. It
Yeah.
seems like, so
And you got to respect that too. Like I can't wear Chiefs gear.
literally can't.
That's amazing. Taylor Swift, she made it to the game.
And Blake Lively. Shout out Blake
And
Lively.
Blake Lively. Shout out Blake Lively.
Taylor Swift got a Super Bowl
looking
before
good,
any of
too.
us did.
Taylor Swift is the Taylor of fandom. Yeah, Taylor
Yeah, they
Lewan.
both just had great first years in their fan base. Just winning it all, winning a ring. And shout out Taylor Swift too when Travis came down and you see Taylor kind of step back. You know, she's standing next to Travis's mom. If you watch the video, somebody like had, I think it was Diana Rossini, she had a video from behind. And you see Taylor Swift just kind of like stepping back just to make sure mom gets the shine, gets the moment like it's about mom. I think that it's real. Do you guys believe that too? I feel like you guys
It's real.
I gotta pass this off, man. I can't. Y'all know I think it's the government. No, the Super Bowl was fun. Shout out Charles, the buffalo chicken dip that she made. Buffalo chicken dip is a nice little staple in our household for the Super Bowl. Emo's Pizza. I had some shipped out here. Shout out Emo's Pizza. We had some toasted ravioli. We had some frozen pizza. Tasted just like I got in the box. A little taste of home mixed with the Super Bowl. But no, we had a good time. Should we dive into Vegas? We recap Vegas. Before we recap Vegas, let's talk about the massive partnership that got announced last night, and that is between Barstool and DraftKings. A round of applause, DraftKings Sportsbook. This podcast is a DraftKings podcast. We're excited to announce our partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. DraftKings will be our one-stop shop for all things betting. This week, new customers who deposit $5 or more can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 on any sport. What is a no-sweat bet that you ask? It's just like getting an offensive board. You miss your first shot, you get another chance to score with a bonus bet back. You can also follow what all your favorite Barstool personalities are betting by joining the Barstool betting group on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the app, DraftKings Sportsbook app now, and use code BUS, B-U-S. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 if your first bet loses. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code BUS. The crown is yours. Boys, we had a Hall of Fame week in Vegas. Before we dive into it, we do just got to shout out, like, you guys, number one. You know, I was love that the table kind of got shouted out at the Barstool Radio where Dave was talking about you guys just being on top of everything, always being quick, always being the first to know, getting stuff up. But you guys grinded your asses off. Like, we had such a good week in Vegas. And shout out the content house at Barstool. Shout out Barstool Sports for, providing us every resource that we needed to succeed outside of the contractor for the audio on the Big Cat podcast. Just to be clear, that was none of our guys in the back. I know I saw a couple comments calling for some heads. It was none of our guys in the back of the bus. Barstool booked us a contract audio guy, and I will not mention his name because he was still with us the whole time and he still did a good job. But the Big Cat episode, he absolutely botched, but that's not on any of the boys in the back. But shout out Barstool for selling us a Super Bowl week, busting their ass. Like, there's so many people behind the scenes that don't get all the love that they deserve, that make sure not only we're firing on all cylinders, but Barstool Sports and all of their shows are firing on all cylinders. We had a studio prepared, which is incredible. I can't wait till that comes to the shop. But again, they made sure we were taken care of. Red Rock Casino, like, shout out to Red Rock. The way that their hospitality, Joe, Blair, and all the boys, their staff, treating all of our guys like they're the most important person that's standing in front of you. I feel like they do that with everybody, and they're really good at doing that. But thank you guys for giving us a home all week long. It was a very plentiful experience in the Red Rock Casino. Who else?
Twisted Tea and
Twisted Tea. Yes, shout out our big sponsor, Twisted Tea. We at first we had a 6-month-long partnership with Twisted Tea. They wanted to end around the Super Bowl, blow it up for the Super Bowl, which they did with our studio and everything else. That has now gone into a longer partnership. So shout out our partners with Twisted Tea. But man, everybody that had us on, the NFL for allowing us into media days and having fun. The McAfee Show, Radio Row, first taking ESPN. That was an incredible experience. We got to have Stephen A. Smith on our podcast. But shout out to absolutely everybody that was involved. Dozen Trivia, having the Dozen Trivia, getting to fly Dana B in town, the Booze Ponies getting to work intermission. I hope Jeff Lowe saw it as a successful night. Like, every day there was something happening for us. shopped, like getting right around in that shopping cart through Vegas was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, shipped, not shopped. My fault. Shipped. That was incredible. We just had such a fun time. I feel like Bert and Tom, gotta shout them out. They came on the podcast as well, but also hosting us at their blackjack tournament, their skills challenge, fucking power slap. Taylor's still in Vegas. The boy, we couldn't even get him to make the intro today. He's flying back from Vegas today. He ended up attending fight night. I know Bert and Tom, they had a show on Saturday night. But seriously, everybody crushed it. Shouts to everybody. Thank you to everybody. But our week in Vegas was all time. Mitch getting the Ed McCaffrey episode up on Saturday, right? On Saturday morning before the Super Bowl aired. That was big time. People seem to love that episode. If you didn't know, we dropped a bonus episode with Ed McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey, his dad, Luke McCaffrey's dad. But that episode's awesome. It's out on all platforms right now, Rumble, YouTube, all the audio platforms. But you guys busted your ass, and I really appreciate you. Connor, I know you did a hell of a job with all the graphics back home. You really missed out on a hell of a week. I'm just teasing you, Cooper. But everybody all in, the boys are buzzing, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, claps all around. But yeah, and obviously Dana White, Tunnel of Chaos, all the boys that entered the Tunnel of Chaos, Dave, Big Cat, Mark Titus, Jerry, Hank, PFT, Austin, even Austin got himself in there. But the Tunnel of Chaos guys, we do have a t-shirt out now if you want to continue to support our gambling problem. Yeah, man, did I miss anything? Hall of Fame week.
Y'all did great too. I mean, there were days where we'd have 4 or 5 interviews. You'd be on different shows, and I just was imagining being in your shoes, and by 4 p.m. doing your last interview, just like being able to have authentic, organic conversations. So shout out to you guys as well. Huge to like just really bring the juice, no matter if it was 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. So that was big.
It was good to have the team, like all of us, to like kind of like lean on throughout the day. It's like you get talking, and there was a couple for sure that I had approached. Like Brian was easy once it started and got into it, but he was one I was a little like anxious about, just because it's hard to prep for the later ones. It's like I would always be ready for the first ones of the day, but then like if those run over and then the next guest is already there and there's no time to like prep or anything, you're trying to figure out different questions that you can ask, or all the different football players that came through, and you're hoping to maybe ask the same kind of question, but in a, like try to figure out a different way to do it. But yeah, man, we had some awesome guests on. We'll go ahead and tease and allow you guys to kind of bitch in the comments in the weeks to come about, hey, when's this one dropping? But we had on fucking the one that's dropping today. Obviously, you got Bert and Tom, you got Gary V, Stephen A. Smith, Charles Woodson, Marshall Falk, Eric Kendricks, Brian Baumgartner from The Office, Michael Bisping. He was a lot of fun. Yeah, I mentioned Gary V. Gary V was all time. Got to ask him about the whole bit on him, shooting his family in the fucking face moment. That was fun. Troy Polamalu, that one was so much fun. Who else?
Did you say Charles Woodson?
Charles Woodson.
Surprise guest Earn. I don't know if that's
surprise guest Earn. And in the Marshall Falk one, Flavor Flav just busts in. Just in the hotel room, you got Flavor Flav coming in with his character he had on the jewelry and everything else. Eric Kendricks.
Do you have top moments from the week? Not even necessarily episode wise, but like, it could be funny stuff, events, or pods.
I mean, my Charles was asking me that, and it's like I felt like every day was a highlight, man. Yeah, like, there was something to highlight and note every day. I mean, obviously everybody winning at the blackjack table, like having the Barstool guys there, like Dave and Big Cat, like leading up to those moments was a lot of fun. Like them up in the room, them kind of questioning the madness and everything else. You're hoping that everybody wins, because clearly it's not a guarantee. Like we've seen, I was in a bit of a deal, but we've seen moments where people were pulling all-nighters, and the way it worked out for all of them was a lot of fun.
You had a low light.
What was the low light? Remind me.
You versus Bobby Lee.
Yeah. Jeez, yes. Bobby Lee beat me in the field goal contest. And we might have tied me in the quarterback challenge.
Yeah.
I like to think he tied me. Yeah, I think he tied me in the
I
quarterback.
think he might have beat you, but we'll look at the
No,
tape.
no. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, Bobby Lee hit a field goal.
People are saying you have the Bobby build.
Yeah.
Actually, I just made that up.
People are saying you're built like a dumpling as well. Yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. I'll never forgive Tom Segura for picking Warren Sapp ahead of me first overall in the draft. I hope it eats at him forever. But hey, I was hanging with Bert and Tom. Like, we got to go on podcasts too, like Max Crosby, Leanne Kreischer, the wife of the party. That I would assume will be coming out soon. Those are fun. But we were at it all day long. It felt like every day, and there were highlights in every one. Like, I only felt exhausted. I don't know about you guys. Like, you guys can let me know when you started to feel it. But I started to feel it definitely on Friday, big time. I thought the way I was feeling Friday, I would start feeling that on Wednesday, just based on last year. I felt like we had some grinder days. Like, I would lose my voice and get too fucked up the night before to like be ready to go for the next pods. But I was like feeling it for like the back end of the last 2 or 3 days last year in Arizona. This week, I felt like Friday was the only one where I was like, man, I am pretty exhausted right now. How about you guys? Did you guys?
I feel like Thursday is when it hit me because when Friday came around, it's like, okay, last day, we leave tomorrow, like we can push through. But Thursday was like, damn, we still got 7, 8 more interviews with like probably 2 late nights. So that's where I felt the exhaustion. But then Friday was kind of just like, all right, one last ride, let's do it.
Yeah. And all the fans too, like everybody who comes up and interacts with us, like, you guys do not know how much that means. The only tip of advice that I will give, because it fires us up every time. Like we all love it. I love when not only are you about Taylor and myself, but the boys in the back, like you're calling them out. Hey, we're so-and-so. Before you even got there, Mitch, I want to say somebody was asking about you. Do you remember that moment where somebody's like, hey, who's the guy that they asked something? Who's the producer?
The question.
Yeah, no, I do remember.
Yeah, but the week was so long, I kind of can't recall. But all to say, like, we love that shit. Like, we love to know that you guys, like, it's like the podcast is happening in real time when you guys come up to us. However, the tip that I will give, have your selfie camera ready to go with the photo, just because it helps save time. There's that awkward moment like, hey, can I get a photo? Yeah. And then, you know,
The Face ID doesn't work.
Face ID doesn't work. Like, oh, oh, my bad, this and that. And your thumb's fucking shaking a little bit and you're trying to hit the wrong thing. Then you hit Snapchat. Oh, I want to get a photo on my camera, not the Snapchat. Or you hit the wrong social media. And then like you hold it up and then it's facing out the other way. And you're like, oh, here, I got to turn it around again. You kind of just like, just that's my tip. That's my word of advice. I know. Again, love it. But when you're just in that little predicament,
I think it's really cool when you see fans like not at like a dozen show or something where you'd expect to see you or Taylor, but like in the wild, and then like we're following you and you can immediately see the reaction where they're like, is that him? And then like you can tell that like even now, even in months from now, it means so much to them to see you guys. And to me, that's cool. The impact you have on people and like just like taking 5 seconds to take a photo, like as soon as they're done, like they're like running off and like jumping in the air, and that's cool. It means you guys are doing real things that make people really happy.
I just love and two, it's like even the ones that just walk by. I want to say it happened in the airport when we got back yesterday, but somebody's just like, oh, the boys. They're just walking by the boys, like, oh, this is just a normal interaction. It is sick, like the culture that's kind of like manifested with the Bussin crew, with the tier 1s, 2s, 3s. Doesn't matter. We rock with everybody. JP, did you have something?
I was going to say, you bring up a good point with the Snapchat. When you go to hand one of us your phone to take a photo, you're putting the pressure on when you got Snapchat pulled up. You got one shot.
One shot.
And we want to make the photo as good as we can for you. So just hand us the camera and we'll rip you 20 photos.
That's a great point, because we might be holding the camera on the selfie mode to like help do it. And you might see some movement on the side or somebody wants to pop in late. So our fingers just going to make sure we get them all. But yeah, that's a great tip, JP.
There's got to be a guy out there who hit the Snapchat and then was like, talked you off for 5-10 more seconds, accidentally cancels it, walks away, and then it's just devastating.
Right. And you can upload your photos to Snapchat, everyone. So if it's in your camera roll, you can still send it out on Snapchat and post it.
That's a good point. That's a great point. What else do we have? Have I hit everything and recap kind of the last week in Vegas?
Super Bowl prediction for next year.
I don't know. I
New
need
Orleans.
some time.
You got to give them a game. What if you're right?
Yeah.
More importantly, what if you're wrong?
Let's go next year. I like that one. Young team, strong, building on the ups. We'll say that's AFC, NFC.
Texans
This
is
is the
AFC.
logo, if that sways you at all, for next year. Released last night with the whole color scheme.
Yeah, let's go Texans. Rams. Oh, man, maybe Packers. Texans, Packers, Super Bowl next year.
Flip it.
Texans, Packers. CJ Stroud, Jordan Love. Those are quarterbacks of the future. Them building on their team for next year. I like them. Let's go with that.
Love it.
Rams might be in there. The Rams got a good shot too.
A healthy Bengals team.
Yeah. Very fair.
They'll be all right.
No, they won't be. By the way, Coach Callahan, I had a cat text me. I guess I will not disclose his name, but he was part of the Raiders when I was on the Raiders, and he's now here with Coach Callahan. And he shot me a message the other night just talking about, hey, and just want to let you know I'm in town. Coach Callahan, we can get him on the bus, yada, yada, yada. So that'll be sick. That'll be sick. Us, we got to start prepping for the spring tour. I think we're going to do a little OTA. So maybe 3 schools in the spring tour and 3 NFL teams for like the OTAs, I believe. But that'll be fun. That's kind of like what's next for us in a big way. There's some UFC. There's some talks of some UFC content that we're going to be doing. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, man, I feel like I hit on everything. Do we want to get to the twisted question?
There actually isn't one. I don't know if it was done.
Oh,
at
there's no
Super Bowl.
segment sponsor?
There's not any segments at all. But we can probably
Mm.
cut this out. Just got the email. Chevy is back on board, so we need to add a Chevy something behind you, and then I've got the ad read. Oh, okay, yeah. I can't see with this poll, so that should be good.
Chevy's back.
Chevy's back.
The Chevy Silverado back with the boys. Presenting sponsor. It's going to be a big year for us, fellas. Hell of a football season, too. Like, man, I hope our teams are fucking in the mix next year.
They will be.
You got Tennessee. Tennessee, are you guys in line for a big year next year?
Well,
You think?
of Vols?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope so. I mean, it's kind of, we're at this point where the expectations like very high, and it's if
Yeah.
we don't make the playoffs, which with being the 12-team playoff this year, I have high hopes. But if it doesn't, then it's just utter chaos. But speaking of Tennessee, with Titans from Vegas, Will Levis, he had an absolute week too. Won the celebrity poker tournament, beat the shit out of Trevor Lawrence in ping pong. He won the celebrity golf tournament. He was crushed.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, he killed it.
Just all right. Just an athlete, man.
Yeah, Titan Super Bowl loading.
I know it's tough saying the Texans when they're in the Titans division. So, just to be clear, there is no twisted question this week. Mitch is saved. I guess he just doesn't want to have any kind of hypothetical. He just wants to take a break. No, let's not put you all just on the hot seat to find one. Well, you know, I figured that you'd
let
still
have
be
a try.
prepared.
He seems like he wants to.
I don't want to, but I
You
will.
should-
Until that point, you want to bring up the Twisted Tea ad, Jack? Twisted Tea, the refreshing hard iced tea made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol, full of flavor and very refreshing. Twisted Tea goes down smoothly and there is zero carbonation, which makes it easy to drink all day long. Twisted Tea fuels fun and celebrates extreme fandom on game day, especially during the playoffs and the Super Bowl last night. Twisted Tea is the perfect alcohol beverage for game day, whether tailgating in the parking lot, watching at a bar, or watching with your friends at home. Twisted Tea is there to turn up your game day. Keep it twisted with the Twisted Kings. Grab a refreshing Twisted Tea today. And also shout out Eric Kendricks for that chug off, which I got, boy got himself a little win under his belt now. You're 10.
Am I doing one?
Yep.
Yeah, Mitch wants to come in now for a hypothetical. This is his twisted question.
All right, this is going to be another one from my buddy Dietrich. Would you rather develop a full erection every time you look at a girl that you're attracted to, or come every hour for the rest of your life?
Thought it was supposed to be hypotheticals, Mitch.
I get stiff. For every girl I see that's attractive, I almost do that anyway. I said almost.
What are the two options?
Get hard for every attractive girl you see, or come every hour for the rest of your life.
24 nuts a day.
Like, what?
Just in mid sleep.
just yeah. Or just get hard with.
We don't even see that many girls, so that would be easy.
That's what I'm saying. And like the average number of erections a man gets every day is, I think, in the double digits.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I'm hard right now. Great question, Mitch. Let's kick it over to Bert and Tom. This was an awesome conversation. A couple real topics I felt like they were talking about, with like comedians and being supportive, or kind of talking shit. The difference between the comedy world and like the sports world, like being on a team. But a really fun podcast. You guys know the boys. They're monsters. Bert Kreischer, Tom Segura, both stand-up comedians. Very popular out there. But enjoy this episode. Make sure to leave comments. Big hugs. Tiny kisses. We interrupt this episode to bring you Ashley. Ashley Furniture furnished the boys at the Super Bowl. We're about to get furniture, and they're going to furnish the shop as well. Amazing quality stuff. Very comfortable. Everybody took a nap on their couch throughout the week, like while we were ripping pods during the weekdays. Perfect seating to watch the game or gaming with your friends. Use code BARSTOOL to save online at ashley.com. Again, that's use code BARSTOOL to save online at ashley.com. Do not sacrifice comfort. Buy Ashley Furniture at ashley.com. Back to the episode.
Sit down. Let's fuck the podcast.
I think we're gonna go two bears, one chair.
That's good. Do you want? Listen, I'm the more dynamic of the two. Do you want him closer to you? Because I will ignore him.
I would say yeah.
Right.
Yes.
But you gotta lean in a little bit though.
Buddy, I take care of me.
Yeah, no question.
I don't listen. I just talk. And boy, we got surprises for you.
Do you?
We do. Fuck yes.
Can we guess?
Fuck
We do 21 questions and guess.
Are we rolling right now? Just start the goddamn podcast. Porosos, available in Texas.
So it's available in Texas. If you want it delivered on time, it probably won't. Just like two bears, one cave. There's a phrase in
How
football.
late are we?
Bro.
9 minutes.
10.
9 minutes.
Well, we sat down,
would've been
yeah,
9.
so 9 minutes. You guys walked in 9 minutes.
is
There's
like
a
a
phrase in football.
Position meeting me.
To be early, is to be on time.
Yeah.
To be on time is to be late, and to be late is to be forgotten.
It's a fucking military expression.
You had a bullshit coach who co-opted the military.
Your coach, who's a fucking pussy who never served, co-opted that shit.
Isn't that wild?
That's the Marine Corps, dude.
I had a
Early is
coach-
on time is late, and late is unacceptable. So this guy, whatever fucking fag.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, what branch of the Marines are you in?
My dad was a Marine, and that's why.
God damn it! He killed a lot of Vietnamese people. Dude, I had a coach one time that said I had a dream.
Call
and
that
he-
coach right now and say, "Fuck off, softy."
No, I lost his number, man.
Oh, yeah, that's
After
right.
that, I deleted it just now. My
After
contact.
the tables last
Every
night, should
coach
raise
says it.
everybody's number.
Yeah.
Let's take a minute. Let's take a minute. How fun was yesterday?
Dude.
So
Did
fun.
not-
And thanks to you boys.
For real.
Seriously.
For real. I owe you guys. I texted you both. I texted the group. You guys made the night for us. It was our
I mean, you
blackjack
guys
thing.
put on
And
the
when you guys
event.
showed up, you changed energy and you created the room.
You did.
And you did.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Can I tell you something?
Fires me
Give
up.
yourself more credit. You guys put
Hey,
all,
accept the compliment.
You guys put all the ingredients in the bowl. We just turned the oven on.
Dude.
You know? That's
It
all we
was
did. You
spicy.
guys like
It
that?
was a fucking blast.
It really was.
It really was.
And the way it was framed as like a blackjack tournament, I was very nervous. There was a guy from Red Rocks called me. He's like, "Hey, the whole idea is to get people out. So you're splitting tens, you're doing whatever because you're trying to fuck up their cards." And so I was going to this game plan. I'll go to war.
Oh, you were coming in to fuck me up.
Yeah, I was literally on the phone before we went there, and he was like, "This is what you got to do in a blackjack tournament if you want to win."
Wow,
and then I get there, and you're like, "Oh, we're just hanging out playing." I'm like, "This is the best.
Yeah.
This is awesome."
No, it was amazing, and the energy was incredible, dude.
Can you elaborate on the energy and how much fun how our table was?
By the way, so we're waiting for this, like they like it starts at 4 and we're sitting in like a holding tank where we're like, it's just like 2:33, and then Bert's like, can we fucking go now? And
Hold on. Let's start with Tommy. Just real quick, casually pulls out a $50,000 marker. And then I have to scramble to get a $50,000 marker that turned into a horrible fight with my wife last night. Horrific fight with her wife. And then Tommy starts gambling by himself before you sat down.
They're like, we're not open. I was like, we are now. Let's just fucking start
swinging it
so
around.
I just was sitting there playing, but playing alone. And then one by one, you guys walked up, and as it was literally like somebody had fired up a barbecue, and they're like, I don't know, I just threw something on the grill, and then one friend shows up, hey, crack a beer, and it was like as your friends showed up, the energy just kept building, and then our table was us. Then Kelce showed up.
Considering I'm the one that sat it, because I'll tell you,
he takes pride.
I take the credit.
Jason.
Yes.
I take the credit for greeting people as they walked in and making sure that Tommy had a good group around him. Hold on. Hang on. You know Will's weakness. You know Taylor's weakness, right? Yeah. You guys love each other. I know Tommy's weakness. Tommy will sit in a shell if you allow him to. He'll sit in the corner by himself. I did not want that.
I can do that as well.
And I said, when you guys rolled in, I go sit next to Tommy. And he kept going, sit down. And I was like, no. I knew Kelce was showing up. And I was like, I want that table to be all the boys, right?
Time out. If I'm walking in, I saw Tom, and I'm like, I want to sit by Tom as well.
No, of course. There's only one goddamn table. Yeah, you can play by yourself. But as I stood and I didn't start gambling, I was waiting for my marker to come in. But I started sitting people at the table, and I saw the energy popping, and I kept that one seat open because I knew Kelce was coming, and fucking Kelce delivers.
He's the best, man.
Dude, and like, here's the funny thing: like 3 times somebody would talk to Kelce, and he'd look over here, and he'd either hit blackjack or just win his hand.
Yes.
And then he'd look back like, oh, $6,000.
Could you imagine though if we all sat down like, hey, we're gonna get after this and have fun, and then we just got ran through the whole time, blackjack for the dealer, 20 for the dealer, and we just got killed.
That was the beauty of it. Now I'll say from my table, so I sat with Anthony Pettis and Bo, who played I think for the Eagles during the Super Bowl.
Phenomenal hair and mustache on him.
Phenomenal.
Really?
Yes, truly, like kind of jealous.
We sat at a side table and have fun. I knew Baker Mayfield was showing up, and so I was like, I was watching your table the way a proud parent watches his kid ride a bike, and going like, fuck yeah, because to have Tommy have fun like that, he's standing with. And you guys are all fucking. I'm like a little jealous. I go, that's not. Then Baker shows up at our table. Baker's wife, dude. You guys all marry savages. Like all you fucking, we marry cunts. You guys marry savages.
We
talked about this in the car.
Don't talk about Leanne like that.
Talked about this. Well, I'm talking about both our wives.
Call your wife.
We did her podcast, and it was a lot of fun.
Hold on. How? If we had lost maybe hypothetically speaking $250,000 at a blackjack table, how would our wives have dealt with it?
First of all, mine would never know that. I would fucking never know that. I'd be like, here's a bag. Don't you like it?
Take her out fishing like Lacey Peterson.
Taxes come in. You're like, I'll take care of this.
Don't even just sign here. Don't even worry about this shit. This is all guy shit.
What is this? 250? Oh, that's a nice little surprise coming in.
That's
Don't worry about that.
going into a college fund. It's a crazy investment. So, no, by the way, this guy is a fucking animal.
Well,
you went on a full. It was. You need somebody to like keep it on the throttle at the table, because like, you know what I mean, like everyone's having fun, you win some, you lose some, that's how you play. You get good shoes, you get bad shoes, but you need somebody to go, I'm gonna press this shit. And you went up and down. I had to remind people that you also went down to almost not, like at one point you were down to like 2. Like you, I was like, oh, I think he's done. You know, I didn't know if you were
just 6,000 at a time, and we're kind of like, you know, a couple 500 chips.
I had heart palpitations when I did 1,500. This guy every time he's like, I'm a double six, and I was like, oh
He'd say, "Hey, hard press up here."
But and also the best part is that he's been playing for not yet a year. So like,
Dude.
he just went all in. But it keeps the juices fucking flowing at the table.
There's like a beautiful yin and yang to that, because if you are the person that presses,
Yes.
it's great if you're winning. Then there's also something for everybody excited about, and it builds their confidence to now put in more chips.
Yes.
But the flip side.
If
If I would have done that last bet,
You were
'cause
almost done.
at one point I was up. I paid you back, and I was up like $20,000.
Yeah.
By the way, there was like a lot of loans at the table.
It's what made
You
me walk
got
away from
him.
this
He
table.
loaned to fucking
Yeah.
Jason.
Kelce,
That's
do
all
you-
Dana too. Like the establishment that Dana's kind of
Yeah.
put together at Red Rocks. It's, you walk in and you don't feel solo. You feel like, hey, if something goes wrong for me, there's going to be 4 or 5 guys that try to chip in to help me get back. And that is where the kind of throwing
where
out a
that
chip
comes
here,
from.
helping a guy. That's kind of my origin story of being. Because if I won $20,000 and you're like, Taylor, give me $1,000, I'm like, get a job. I'm not going to give you $20,000, but if I have chips and we're playing, it's very easy for me to hand you a chip and feel a little safer about that situation.
Yeah.
I had never understood being a cuckold before, like watching men fuck your wife.
Yeah.
But watching
Seen a couple videos.
watching you play blackjack, I got it. I stood behind you and I was like, I'd let him fuck my wife. I want to see it. You're just so fun. You're so fun. And every table needs the guy that's got a couple phrases going, Mama needs a new pair of shoes.
Yeah.
You know, like someone to say something. And I was sitting off the back. Leanne was so fun watching you guys. She's like, I love Taylor Lewan. Man, that is the boys I grew up with. That is the boys. Those are the fun boys. And I was like, yeah, but when I do it, I pull out a 50,000 marker and we stay up until 2 a.m. fighting. Like, what the fuck?
He didn't even use it.
I only lost $1,000. I just gave Baker's wife $1,000. I was like, here, please gamble. And she's like, we have money. And I was like, oh, I'm rich. and then she walked out with $1,000. I was like, do you want to split that up? Or I'll see you later. Stay in Tampa.
Hey, but our table, how bad? Let's just be honest. No shots at the boy, but how bad do you think Bert wanted to tell John to be, hey, let's. Jason said, "You heard,
we were walking away talking about that.
Bert. You heard Bert when Jason was rolling up. Hey, can we get 2 chairs up here?" And I'm just thinking, I know we will.
No, it was for Bo. It was for Bo.
That faint, distant. Can we get 2 chairs? You're like, oh, that man's gonna go right now.
He would hear us being like, yeah. And then he'd be like, we're having fun over here too, guys.
And then Jason would yell so much louder and get it going.
And Jason was like, man, I was pretty, like, he was an aggressive bettor too. Like,
And he'd surrender.
yeah.
He'd surrender. He'd be like, I'm out.
John,
Yeah.
he was like that.
John was doing that.
John was
Yeah,
surrendering. John
Right,
was
right. He
surrendering
was
on 15.
explaining that to Jason.
He was explaining
Oh,
to me
yeah,
it was
Jason,
a good thing,
yeah.
and I thought that's no.
Explain who John is, if you can. Do you know who he is?
So I looked him up after, and I saw he's like, apparently what I saw was big time gambler, wants to talk about gambling a lot.
Yeah.
But he's talking about when he did that little story.
He was saying that, like, if you have 15 and the dealer's showing like a face card, something like that, surrender, right? Which means like you give back like half your bet or something.
Yeah, you get half of
and
it
so
back.
he was like, he surrendered once, and the whole table was like, "The fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
And then
He's like,
you
"Oh, I
know,
did an Instagram
And
on
he was
this."
like kind of like teaching about it to. I mean, he obviously is like a very experienced bettor, and you know he had good insight.
He's
but-
my algorithm. My algorithm was at that table. Yeah, because he's a guy. I mean, I hope he hears this and finds this with love. He is absolutely hilarious, but sometimes he doesn't know he's hilarious. So, like, he is a Instagram influencer who's all about invest in yourself 200%, and he talks to people who have jobs and tells them that they're sucking the man's dick, and his big flex
He's gonna hear
is
this with love.
I hope he does. His big flex is, and I love this so much because it's like he's got a fountain in his living room, and he's like, "Do you have a fucking fountain in your living room?"
Oh, he's like flexing on people. with the
But
Instagram.
and then when haters come at him, he puts their picture up. He's like, "Yo, what's up, John? I saw a picture of your fat fucking wife." Like, he lights bitches up. I ran into him in Florida. My algorithm just showed up in Florida. Dude, the guy had been attacked by an alligator that I listened to a podcast, and him showed up, and we hung out and partied. And I was like, "Dude, you got to come hang out with the boys," because he's 6'7". He's a big motherfucker. Played ball. I'm sure he told you that, right?
He did not actually.
He did not.
Played football.
He was busy trying to tell me to stay on 16, which
It was so cool seeing all you guys hang out together.
Yeah.
Because I do love the guy. I love the guy. I follow him. He makes me giggle. Sometimes I don't think
super nice.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
And he's a fun guy. But that fucking table was goddamn hot.
Also, shout out. It changes the whole vibe. Shout out to the fun dealers. You know what I mean? We had like I know they do their job and they're doing what they do, but when they have a good attitude, it does make the whole thing a whole different.
When there was
the fun dealers would come to our table and be a cunt. We got the same fucking dealers. They show up and be like, you guys again?
Dude, the art dealer was so great because when I had
Don, what's going on?
Yeah, well, we had like big bets, and I would get a face card, and she would go around and then put my next card face down, just to have fun. Like, I had a little more of an experience to her. I'm like, okay, this is nice.
Yeah,
this is nice. I love this.
I liked it. I liked
yeah, it was good. You guys threw a hell of a party.
And the table won, like the whole table.
Yeah.
Everybody walked away winners.
When 4 guys are sitting there up, and then 1 guy's just down, you're like,
that sucks.
he kills the vibe.
Yeah,
He's trying to be happy for everybody, but it's
like, I am happy for you.
How about Jason Kelce, man?
Let's take a second. I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have introduced me to a whole group and like to the boys. It's a phrase I think that is overstated but underappreciated. I don't think people understand how precise this statement is because guys like George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, fucking Jason Kelce, they're boys. They're always for the boys, and I fucking love that. You know, our vodka's for the Bears, Porosos.
That's the phrase.
For the Bears. For the Bears.
That's
For the Bears.
For the Bears.
And when we came up with it randomly, so we tried to come up with a bunch of names. Tom's Peruvian. He speaks fluent Spanish, and even though he looks like one of the Nazis that escaped down there. but like I heard it and I went, and you guys, our friendship is super important to me because Beer Olympics. It was my fight club. It was my moment where I was like, oh, first of all, there's men better than me, like bigger than me, stronger than me, smarter than me.
First realization. Like, these guys are fucking me up, dude. Shane, too. He was like, you dodged a bullet.
His podcast, you were on a week later, right?
Yeah, like a few days later.
Yeah, how was it? Awful. It was terrible.
Dude, it was horrible. You definitely did the right thing.
Yeah, but you're going this year.
He was like, these guys were choking me out, fucking holding me underwater. He said someone tried to drown him and was like, my bad.
That's your neighbor.
Something got into this.
He's like, I got carried away. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but dude, the football players, man, not every football player is like this, but there is a group of guys, man, that are just for it, love hanging out. Not when you go out and you're in college, going to the bars, you're not so focused on chasing girls or anything like that. It's like the boys are hanging out.
Yeah.
We're getting a pitcher of B-walls and we're getting blackout drunk together.
Might get a little rough.
Might get a little rough.
Yeah, yeah.
And you just kind of get after it. And that is the staple of Beer Olympics.
It is.
It's just truly.
What is it? When is it? When's the date?
It'll be June 25th. this year.
June 25th.
It's on a Tuesday. You will be there.
Okay.
You are
Tommy,
going.
You're going, bro.
Tommy,
Okay.
Tommy,
Yeah.
it's so much fun.
Okay.
And
Jason's going now.
Yeah,
Jason's
Jason will be
coming.
there.
we got
So
we
much
got a
fun.
soft accept from the Logan brothers or the Paul
well,
brothers.
no.
Yeah, I heard that didn't go well.
Yeah, because you put me in a group chat with Jake. Ian, to your credit, amazing job. It wasn't just, hey, connecting you two. Descriptions, homies, great friends, the whole thing. Serving him up on a platter for me. I try to come back. Hey, 9 years in the NFL, 3 Pro Bowls, big flex. Just trying to impress you right now. Would you love to come to Beer Olympics? And that group chat to this moment has still not been talked in. He has not said anything back. Nothing on the side.
It's a tough.
Nothing.
We're gonna make
It was
it happen.
a tough deal.
I bet you'd go
Shout out
different in
Jake Paul.
person. It'd go different in person.
You think so?
If that motherfucker saw you in person, be like, "Hey, bitch, you see that fucking text just hanging there?" I think it'd go a little different.
You think so? I feel like he's got that attitude where he would swing on anybody.
No.
I think you might forget what you look like in person. I think it would go a little.
You
different.
forget.
Yeah,
your
no
mirrors
question.
are fucked up. You forget what it's like to touch you.
Yeah,
It's like a dog, dude. If a big dog sees a little dog, it thinks that they're the same size.
That's true. That's
Everyone
true.
thinks Gronk is
There's divisions in boxing for a reason. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. I love it.
everyone
beat
everyone
his ass,
forgets
dude.
how big
I
you
would beat
guys
Jake
are.
Paul's ass. I'd beat Jake Paul's ass.
He can fucking throw.
He can fight. He can
Actually
fight.
can fight.
You know who can't throw a punch?
Who?
Me. Yeah.
I was about to say,
Hey, he
his
tried
brother.
throwing one at your the movie premiere. Remember that?
Who?
He had the
Oh, yes.
Taylor took a swing at it, like basically missed it, like barely nicked it.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, are we gonna do a drink,
right.
guys? Are you gonna have a cocktail right now?
Yes. Can we get?
Should we get some
cups or
Osos?
glasses or
Yeah.
something?
Can we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can I tell you
come
we got
on,
a treat
man.
for you? We got a
Yeah.
treat for you.
Can we? Do you want to just give it to us? Or do you want to get? Can we guess?
We gotta do it 2 ways.
Should you guys set it up? If
How do
there's
you want to do it?
You gotta sip it room temp, just the way it is.
I want you to
first.
try a shot
I want you to
see if
actually
you like the vodka.
Okay.
That's how you get the flavor. That's how your palate's got to be completely unobstructed, not chilled. It's just like, this is what it tastes like. Room temperature. Then we have a treat for you.
Then we have a treat.
Okay.
What's the treat? Is there some explanation into the treat?
Oh,
like
yeah,
some
we'll
foreplay?
give you a little. We'll give you a little.
It's,
a little tickle.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. You're gonna like it.
we need ice. We need a shot.
Well, I think room temp first. I really do. This is how you actually
Just pass the bottle around.
what it tastes like. Yeah.
Who was the premier or the prime like taste tester to figure this out?
We actually each got samples, like 12 samples individually, separate, and we sent in our answers separately, not to each other.
Okay.
And then we responded with the same 2 samples that we liked the most.
And I wasn't.
And then how'd you decide out of the
I wasn't-
two?
What's interesting is I wasn't drinking at the time.
Oh, nice.
I was sober.
Yeah, it was a Wednesday.
Do you want us just to pull or pull it in the glass?
Pour a little in the glass.
So when I was sober, I just had to pour it in my mouth. I don't know if you guys know I lost 45 pounds, but
I know.
Ozempic's really been hitting the headlines.
Well, both of us are on it. Anyway, us and Amy Schumer. So I had to taste it. I just poured it in my mouth and let it sit on my tongue, and then I did my taste testing that way, and it was really interesting because I was like, some of them were like, this is like pepper. I don't like this shit, and then some of them were round. Like I won't tell you what you're tasting, but I tell you this: everyone knows you put 10,000 work hours into anything, you're good at it. I think it's safe to say I put 10,000 work hours in vodka.
I'll tell you this too about vodka. Most of the time, if you buy, sorry, I should talk into this.
Yeah.
Most of the time,
You know the drill.
You get a vodka, you're like, you have to fucking freeze this to make it even tolerable to taste. So we'll taste it first, then we'll do something. But just you can give us your honest reaction, whatever you think of it.
Yeah, all right. Please. We just sat with Roy Choi, the celebrity chef.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers.
Sorry about the 9 minutes.
Boys, the time is finally here. I've gone all over the place trying to figure out what is the next nicotine for me. What am I going to do? And as I pack up for Las Vegas, Nevada, head back to Nashville, Tennessee to be see my beautiful family, get back with the boys, I feel like it's only fair I make this announcement. Now, I've tried them all. I tried On, tried Rogue, and there's not a pouch that fits this lip better than Lucy, baby. Lucy, to me, has the pouch is big, it's sturdy, you put it in there, the flavor lasts for damn near an hour, which is way different from other nicotine things I've used before. And they have these things called breakers. You put them in there, you break them with your teeth, you put them in there. It's a flood of flavor, baby. It is a flood of flavor in that lip that lasts all day long. And Lucy, bless them, have come on with Bussin' with the Boys and said, we love that you believe in us. We want to sponsor you guys.
I like this.
I like it too. It's thoughtful.
Shall I?
Age before beauty.
All right, go ahead.
All right, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I hate vodka.
Cool.
Good start. By the way, you guys can get this
That's
at
actually the
Kroger's.
tagline.
All right, we got our clip, guys. It's fun doing the podcast.
Growing up on Popov and shit like that, tasting your guys' vodka, it came into my mouth and I was very nervous. Like I saw you guys, I didn't know if we were drinking the whole thing. I really didn't want to. I just wanted to take a little sip and taste it. I flush it around in my mouth. Not a lot of disruption in there. Not a lot of disruption. And then I'm also scared to swallow it because, again, the taste of vodka, very harsh. That is some of the smoothest vodka
That's what I want to hear.
I have ever tasted, and that is no bullshit to everybody watching. And overall, I would say that is a 4.5.
I like that.
Thank
you.
Thank you very much.
I'll go. I also share the same thing about vodka. It's not my favorite liquor to drink. It's usually one of those things you shoot it and immediately chase right after just because you're trying to get from point A to point B as fast as possible. As I put this vodka in my mouth, I very rarely, like I just said, you just shoot it, you don't let it sit there.
This guy.
As it coated the inside of my mouth, I was getting nervous. Like, how harsh is this going to be? I can feel the warmth spreading from my cheeks to my nose, up into my head, where I'm feeling like kind of that's you get when you have a whiskey on your stomach, but in the dome piece. as I took it down, another fear overtook of how harsh am I going to cough? Because I want to love this for you guys.
Yeah.
As I took it down, I could feel a touch of sharp to where, oh no, it might come, the cough might come, to a subtle, smooth landing.
Nice.
On an airport if you're flying a plane. And then it sat in my stomach right after a meal. And I just feel like the whole inside of my stomach now is coated, feeling warm as if the whiskey is. Overall, I'll give it a 4.5.
Wow.
Nice.
And I'll say this too, like you take that first drink, and again, thinking about it, it's like, you know how it hits like the side of your tongue and you start to feel that little sprinkle?
Yeah.
It doesn't bounce a lot off the tongue, which is a very positive thing.
We're very excited about it. Appreciate your honest reviews. This is a proprietary distillation process, and we fucking went through a whole bunch of ones that we didn't like to find one that we did like. So I'm glad that you gave it.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
solid.
you,
It
gentlemen.
really is solid.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
Now
is the treat.
If you guys don't mind ice at this point, could we do ice?
Okay, so I'm gonna have you guys do it, so we're not doing it on camera. So can
We're
you
not doing this on camera?
No. This is a treat.
Yeah.
This is something we just did, and it blew us away. And I immediately said, and I'll tell you this for real. I said, we should take this to the podcast. And Tom said, not KFC radio, Bussin' with the boys.
That's what we need.
He goes, I don't like those guys. I have a hard time talking to them. They're very boring in my opinion. And so we said, this is a treat for you guys.
Yes.
So there's a thing called a buzz button. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, I had it one time in Australia, and it's a thing that changes the palate of your tongue. You eat it, your tongue goes crazy wild numb, and whatever you taste, all of a sudden, very temporarily, and whatever you taste is fucking phenomenal.
Changes the complete.
So this is Porosos and the mixer, and we got buzz buttons for you guys. We'll each eat a buzz button. Now, I will say that when I ate one, I drooled aggressively. It's pretty wild, and it's pretty intense. It's a little bit like a popper or like fucking
a guy. You ever fuck a guy?
He's explaining like it's like an orgasm in your mouth.
I took my Zen out. How do we not?
You're going to endorse somebody.
Can I endorse somebody?
Well, hold on. Can I say this? How about the four of us go into business with a nicotine company? Because that is, if you're talking about what kids are doing, they're all over the place. That's where the money's to be made.
As parents, we should all get behind nicotine.
It's Andrew Huberman said it's healthy for you.
I was going to say, Huberman, that
started on your show.
I think he might go, excuse me.
Yeah.
No.
The literature
Literally,
actually says
that video on your guys' pod made me start doing it.
Really?
Me too.
Yeah, that's why I texted you. I said, hey, what's a healthy style? Like how much? Because, you put some of these in your mouth and you're just like, you love the juice.
Don't you feel like if you have like a morning, like a busy morning, and you throw one in, you get dialed in.
Oh, yeah.
Like right away. It's a good pre-workout. You ever take it like right before you?
I take it during my workout.
I put them in
I
on the
put
treadmill.
two in, and I'll actually switch them out.
But here's what you miss when you're doing it daily. Is like, if I do it once a week, that first time I'm doing it, you feel what you want to feel.
That's why
That buzz. You feel that little burn in your lip, and you're like, okay,
wait for
it's
the
getting
6.
Now that I've been in Vegas, it's like it just goes, and you're not getting that little jump, in my opinion.
Ice.
I meant for you guys to do that.
Yeah.
Hey, the 3 thing though, I have the same feeling about that. I'm not a huge 6 guy. I'll do 2 3s at a time.
2 3s are better than the 6.
The
in my
flavor
opinion.
in the 3s are much better than the 6s.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It transitions. Like when I put the 6 in, it almost becomes intense, even though I'm doing 6 milligrams with 2 3s.
Yeah.
It's a very weird. Maybe I'm a weird guy, but that is for me.
No, you're not weird.
You sure?
Yeah.
So I want to ask you guys a question while they're making these drinks.
Yeah.
I did Players Night. You guys were at Players Night.
It scared the shit out of me.
I'm being so honest, and I know that I'm not supposed to do this on podcasts. There was an ego thing that happened with me being in the reporter's line, like where I was like, first of all, I'm fucking famous. Like, get me the fuck. Like, what am I doing? Raising my hand. Like, being real.
Like,
but then I thought of you two, and I was like, you guys are, you actually belong over there. Like, you guys are players, but you guys were cool as fuck about it, and it changed the way I was like, I can be cool, I can have fun with it, but it did fuck with my ego a little bit to be in the reporter's line. How is that for you guys? Is there an ego thing that happens where you're like, I know George Kittle very fucking well. If I don't get dapped up, we're gonna have an issue. Like,
For me, in
The
my
positive
mind,
of that was we got dapped up by George, which is nice.
so did I.
Yeah, okay. It's not a competition. I'm just
Kittle,
saying it happened. I didn't see
It's on
yours. I saw
camera.
mine.
I have
it's
a
on
video.
camera.
I have a camera,
Okay.
and I'll show it to you.
Fair enough. All right, go ahead.
He actually walked to the stand, saw me, walked off the stand, dapped me up, went back and said, "This is going to be fun."
I mean, if we're going to do competition mode, we got his attention as he was already in the stand. And then he saw us. We screamed for him. Some
We obnoxiously yelled, George, George, George.
And some lady goes, "We're not going to do that." And George goes, "They can do that." And we asked the question, did the question, and after the dap up, and then said, "Love you guys. It's not a big deal."
I had more fun going, Travis, 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 Travis. I had more fun doing that than asking the question.
I had a hard time with that. Well, the ego thing. Go ahead.
You putting your hand up and back. And I'm like, hey, stay in it. Journalism.
Yeah,
For me, whenever I start to think about that little ego, like cool factor part, I try to immediately tell myself, yo, just fucking embrace this, be a little obnoxious about it, and just go all in and just.
That's a good
and once
attitude.
it's like when you're playing in a game, once you get that first hit out of the way, oh, you're good. Once I got there and I'm like, Travis, 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 and then he looked over and kind of laughed, and then it's like all broke there. So then I was like, okay, this is the lane we got to do, because Taylor and I were walking in not knowing what to expect.
Is it a weird pivot? Is it a weird pivot though? Like to be from like, you're a player and like you do, it's like, it's time to go to a meeting. It's time to go to practice. Like that's your life is like just playing. And then they're like, well, yeah, you're not a player. It's like, does it almost feel like you need to tell somebody when they're there? You know what I mean? Like the
because
person
you don't
next
know
to
this,
you?
but the reporters are dicks. The reporter's like, hey, back up.
Yeah, they're all
fat dudes who never played the sport, and a couple chicks, and they're fucking assholes.
Right.
They're not cool.
Right,
and they don't
right.
have fun. Like when I was going, Travis, they're like, can you please stop? And I was like, no.
See, that
fuck you.
To me, that's always a dagger, because I don't do well with the upfront confrontation with people unless I'm in a mood.
Yeah.
But if someone's like, "Hey, can you not?" But you're absolutely right. I'm sorry about that.
Oh,
That was
okay.
crazy.
You know what I did? You know what I did? This little fucking cunt who wanted to talk to Christian McCaffrey.
three.
I say it all day long. I was going, Christian, and she goes, please stop. And I said, do you have a question? She goes, I have a great question. And I said, do you want your question answered? She said, yeah. And I said, let me get your question asked. She went, what? And I went, Christian, she has a question. And he went, ma'am, what do you want? And then she went, who are you? And I went, yeah, Superman, bitch. I'm just sitting with Clark Kent. You don't know that I'm fucking. Let's have a drink, guys.
Yeah, let's go.
Are you all right? I almost fucking fired a sound guy today. Yeah, I'm getting hot. I'm having a fucking week. I love this shit. Yeah. I love it. The energy is awesome, but I get around you guys and I get overly confident.
Yeah, I had to turn away from him earlier.
I lit up someone.
Do you want to talk about it? This is a safe space.
No.
It was awesome talking about it.
No. Sound.
Oh, this is a new Bert I'm seeing right now.
I know the backlash that happens on the internet when you sound like you're disconnected. So like I'm aware
What's it
of
like?
it.
Are you in the chat?
Are these mixed? These already these are mixed? Oh. All right.
So should we take a sip? Should we take
No.
take a break?
Let's buzz first.
You guys haven't had that yet, have you?
All right. We're gonna do them all at the same time.
When the internet comes backwards towards you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's happened before.
But not to you guys.
Not in
guys.
this realm. In
There's been
football,
some
in
negative
football.
comments,
It'll happen.
absolutely. You've just ever had a bad game and you're just like, I'm going to torture myself on the internet by searching my name in the search bar, and then you're just like, why did I fucking do this?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't.
And it's always in the bus ride to the plane, and then you have to sit there in the entire plane with no Wi-Fi to see if there's any positive comments.
Do you read, do you get your pass protection sucks?
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Like, you see
Yes, and it happens whether you play good or play bad. Like, this guy's
serious?
dumbing Taylor Lewan. And I think to myself, bro, I played so good today, and you want to say something, do something, but instead you let it fester, and then it creates.
Sometimes I'll pop on, I'll be like, oh, I had a good game. Let's see if the fan switched up on me. And it's like, oh, he fucking sucks. I'm just like, oh, shit.
Like you missed
step it up.
a tackle, right? You missed one tackle.
Yeah.
You had 11 that game, and they're like, fuck did you do on that?
Yeah.
Third
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and you see it.
You see it.
Better yet, do you guys get players of other teams telling you how bad your game was?
Ooh.
Because we get that. I get that. I got that the other day.
You're saying players on other teams
Other
telling us
comedians
how.
will trash you on TikTok or on podcasts, and then you get that, and you're like, oh, cool.
This just looks like a sunflower bud.
We're gonna have fun.
The
here.
comedian world feels so much different. Like I feel like I say this with a lot of love for all the comedians, but it seems like a lot of a lot of material, like comedians, to me, it's like they find a lot of stuff from like their lowest moments or a lot of insecure places. So it almost seems that way because it's such more of a one-player game on the road, doing your stand-up and everything else. Whereas football and team sports, you want the boys to succeed, and if you're watching somebody else as a linebacker, you might have a comment to yourself like, "Oh, I could have played that better," whatnot. But you understand what everybody's going through, so you're kind of like.
That's funny. I wish we had the same camaraderie.
Yeah. Football players do a really good job of talking shit behind your back. But if they're with
Correct.
you,
They do
they'll
it.
be like, hey, man,
they
you're,
do it
you're all right.
on podcasts.
The thing that people don't get about football, this does nothing for stand-up, but with football, is like a really good player can have low stats because of how good they are.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of fans don't register that like this guy might have 3 tackles because that offense is like, we're not going to even run to that side of the fucking field.
Right.
Because this guy is so lights out.
Or
we're
throw
not,
on that side.
We're not going to punt to this guy at all. We're just going to kick it. And their stats suck. And like, yeah, that's because that guy's so dangerous that the whole scheme is to fucking avoid him.
Right.
That shit is amazing. Yeah.
Luke Kuechly was that way. Like, if you block this guy, we will gain yards. If you don't, we will lose the game.
He will make you pay.
Yeah, he will make you pay. Unfortunately, middle linebacker, there's no running away from him. He's literally everywhere. When you guys are explaining how comedians come at you guys, and it's very, they do it on podcasts.
I told Tommy I was on the phone with the dude. Yesterday morning for 15 minutes.
I gotta rip the boys.
Who said something sideways on TikTok, and I thought it was about me. He said it wasn't, but he's like a friend of mine, and I've had him on my podcast. We're all friends with him, and everyone goes, "That's got to be about Bert." And then they send it to you, and then you get it, and then you got to feel like shit on the treadmill, and you're like, "I don't even want to work out now."
Nice treadmill
like,
flex.
Fuck, and then you're like. And then
45.
And then
Incline
but like that happens is like we talk shit in some. We don't do it anymore. We did it back in the day, but like it happens where comics will talk shit about you because once you get to a level of success, you're just a target for everyone.
It actually makes sense.
It makes
does.
total sense.
No, it makes sense. But the person that I think about is Cat Williams.
Joe got 6 comedians that never been funny. He want to push out.
When you guys talk about podcasts, comedians, Rogan.
Yeah.
And all the things he was saying, I believe you guys talked about it a little bit on your pod too.
Yeah.
Did you guys feel that was directly put at you guys at all?
What thing?
Honestly.
Cat Williams was saying something like, Rogan won't have me on because he's got his comedians.
He has said, he said, quote unquote,
Yeah, okay.
he just has the six funny motherfuckers on every time. Unfunny.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, me, Tom, Ari twice, Shane Gillis, and Mark. You know that there's no way Cat gets Shane. Like he just doesn't. Like Cat, he doesn't get Mark Norman either. I don't think he gets Rogan, to be honest with you. So like, but he definitely doesn't get me. Like there's no way Cat Williams sees me take my shirt off on stage. He goes, "Ah, that looks good," or whatever he does. You know.
You're the exact type of guy where he's like, tonight we're getting fucked up.
By the way, if Cat and I hung out, we would get down hard as fuck. Like I'm friends with all his friends. I'm friends with all his friends. I understand a dude like Cat Williams. I've wanted to pack a gun in my suitcase and get on an airplane before. Like I get it. I fucking get it. I'm that guy. I've wanted to fight a 7th grader before. Like fuck yeah. And I'd probably lose also. So like I get Cat Williams, but like when he said stuff like that, like definitely I saw that. It was like it
didn't register to me, honestly.
Yeah, really?
No. It really
That's
didn't.
good.
But
It didn't
Tom's
register to me.
dead inside.
But maybe. But like he had to bring it up, and I was like, oh yeah. I thought it'd been great if he fucking said our names. That would have been amazing. He'd be like, that Tom motherfucker. Like if he would have said
Tom
that
Segura
shit.
can't read.
Yeah, like that would have been fucking amazing. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like most here's the thing. Comics are normally they're two-faced and they're not gonna say shit to you 99% of the time. So there's all this shit talking. It's like high school. You know what I mean? And like if you do have success in something, someone's always, I mean, you know, it's all it's rooted in insecurities and talking shit. We're shit talkers.
Right.
So like
and if you're trying to play the cool guy card, you're like chirping and hating and like all that.
Dude, and then some people,
blah, blah, blah.
some people talk shit and they go, I'm not really talking shit.
Right.
You can't like if you really sink into that and go, I'm gonna let this, like you can't let it bother you. You have to go like, there's an even exchange here. I'm fortunate enough to have all these things going on, and like I know I'm lucky to have it. I'm lucky as shit that, you know, to have podcasts, the touring, like all those things are happening. And if somebody wants to go like, fuck you, or like, you don't deserve it, you have to go like, okay, yeah, I mean, sure, man. Like, I get it.
It's got,
I get it.
It's got to be like
you're at that phase right now. But also that person who's that upset about it is usually, you know, it just, they're in a certain realm. And like 10 years from now, they're going to be the one that has like all that shit going on. Someone else is going to be, you know what I mean? It's cyclical and it just, it takes its natural path. You cannot get upset about people barking at you for for things that you know you're lucky to have. You just have to go like, yeah, I understand you're upset about, or like you're bitter or you're insecure about it. I get it. I totally get it. This probably looks like unwarranted. Like you know what I mean? Like because there is kind of like, it's really feast or famine in entertainment. Like you really are struggling to make rent. And then it's just dump trucks backed up where you're like
Brinks trucks.
There's no, it's like, there's not like a lot, there's not a real balance to it. So it makes sense is what I'm saying. If somebody is like really bothered by it, you can't take it personally.
In an entertainment, especially with the internet and social media and everything else, like falling victim to it and having to check yourself and everything like that. Like it's such a status signal game to where if you're entering that realm, there is like the punching up, trying to pull down, like
dude,
it's like you just fall victim.
When that shit like really ramps up, you really just need to be like, I just got to focus on what I'm doing. And like, there's people, it's almost like with teams avoiding noise, like don't pay attention to the
bulletin board material.
You got to remember also, Tom and I were the first generation of comics that were like, I mean this from 3,000 feet up, but like, we got really fucking lucky. I mean, we met Joe Rogan when he was starting his podcast. And we got to remember, Joe Rogan was doing theaters like 12 years ago, 10 years ago. And then all of a sudden, Tommy, within a year, started doing theaters. So all of a sudden, Tommy leveled up.
When I met him, and we were doing clubs.
So
he was a club.
It was all club comics. And then Tommy all of a sudden did theaters. And then Tommy, I would say, in my opinion, is the first dude to kind of break through the ice. And then all of a sudden it went theaters to arenas to private jets to and there's no insight on that. You're in a fucking arena. You got 19,000 people. Of course, you're taking a picture with all the people behind you. You're posting them, and now half the people are going, that's fucking badass. I want to get there. The other half are like, fuck that guy. You're walking off a private jet, and you're like, dude,
how's he doing that?
This is gangster. This is gangster. And Tommy's like, yo, we just flew into, and you do that. You want to do that. But remember, we were the first generation comics doing that, so we're sharing it, so we welcomed in a lot of hate of like people going, you've changed. You're like comic. I remember fucking full-blown cunt was lying about flying private, and me and Tom were like, no, we're gonna post it, that's how cool it is. And that person, I'm not gonna say his fucking name, you know who I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, I don't know right this moment.
Yeah.
If you say it, we'll just cut it too.
I'm not even.
We interrupt this episode to bring you Shipped. Shipped offers reliable, trustworthy, same-day shopping and delivery. The joy of real human connection is why customers choose Shipped. That means connecting with Shipped shoppers and having way more time to connect with the people around you. Get everything you need delivered with Shipped. Shipped makes it easy, makes shopping from your local stores easy, non-stressful, so you don't have to waste any time. Get everything you need, snacks, drinks, hangover supplies in as soon as 1 hour. Shipped connects you with trusted, personalized shoppers that meet your needs. They're proactive, solution-oriented, and they know you. They know what you like, and they know what you care about, and they care about getting it right for you. Enjoy a free 14-day free trial with unlimited deliveries at shipped.com. Back to the episode.
There were comics who were like, hey man, you can't post you flying on a private jet. But
let me help him.
Thank you.
So I think the thing is that Bert came from the genuine excitement that is actually normal to have when you win the lottery. Like when you win the lottery, you go, what the fuck? This is crazy, right? And he has genuine, like, childlike enthusiasm for all kinds of things, like for dinner, for drinks, for going somewhere. And so when like his success happened, he was authentically himself. His authentic self that you guys already know is a happy, oh my God, isn't this cool? some people see somebody going, I'm so excited by this thing that's so crazy that's happening. Then they go like, fuck, like the fuck, you're not supposed to do that, or I wouldn't do it that way. It's like, yeah, but he's not you. He's him. He's a guy who's excited to be here. Right. And he's a guy who's like, this is a crazy experience. I can't believe I'm here. Here's a photo. He's being himself. Like, not everyone's going to do it the same way. I don't even have the same, because I'm dead inside. But like, I'm saying, like, when he does all this stuff that, like, it bothers somebody that he's excited, like, let it bother you. That's my feeling on it. If you're bothered by it, then let it bother you. I don't give a fuck if it bothers you. Yeah. It's who he is. You know what I mean? Like, I might do it a different way, but it's like, let people authentically be themselves, or don't. You can get all upset and spend your time going to people's profiles and being like, I'm so angry about your enthusiasm about how well things are going. Okay, then do that. But he's going to be authentically himself. And that's what he did whenever all these like tiers of like, you know, moving up happened to him, and that bothers some people. I mean, let it bother them.
It's so nice to see you go to war for your boy just now.
Well, it's just
having that kind of little fight. It's like when I look at you in the mirror 20 years down the road.
When I get canceled, I remember one time I don't know if you remember this, Tommy, but we were talking and it was shut up.
That was a bad one. I remember.
When I get canceled, I remember Tommy. I was saying something, and he goes, "Let them go after my buddy. I'll go down with the fucking ship." And I was like, "That's who you want in your corner. That's who you want is a ride or fucking die for real. Burn the bridges, burn the boats. It's us on this island, and we're taking over Peru."
But you're supposed dude.
It's like that question too. Like, what would your 10-year-old self think about all this? Like when we get to do all the things. I remember one of those moments. Like Taylor, it was my first Pro Bowl on Taylor's ticket, and we're at like Disney World and Universal, and not going to those things growing up. And you see all these superheroes. And you're like, man, I'm gonna take a funny, fun picture. And you're just thinking like, yo, it is insane that I'm like out here, or every level that you experience, you're like, yo, this is the things you fantasize and dream about as a kid, and we're getting to experience them. And you want yourself to come out about like, yo, this is so much fun.
Sick, man.
Well, like that's what I'm saying. Like it's authentic. That's the whole point. Like I'm probably less of like, hey, because it's not authentic to me. I'm not trying to be cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like him and his excitement are authentic to him. The reason I think that he has a big following is the authenticity. It's being who you are. That's always works in entertainment. The reason your show is successful is because you're not trying to be somebody that you're not. You guys are who you are. You have the relationship, the chemistry you have. You talk about things from like the way you comment on things is who you are. People respond to that. So like, you know, his authenticity is being an excited guy. It is being like, I'm on a private jet. I'm gonna take a fucking picture. That's who he is. And by the way, that's how most people react. Most people go like, this is fucking crazy.
Very few people get on a private jet and don't take a fucking picture.
That's me.
Yeah,
or in their mind, like you want to.
Yeah.
Based on people that might be around, you're like, okay, maybe that's not the place, but I do want to get excited and be like, yeah, let's fuck.
Right, you try to play it cool. Like you take the picture at Disneyland, someone's like, what are you doing, man? Fucking Ray Lewis didn't do that. And you're like, yeah, I know. I'm not fucking.
I remember Pat McAfee taking pictures on a private jet one time, and I was like, how fucking cool, man. He flew private.
Yeah, he's an excitable guy.
I thought, how cool. And I mean, that's just the inauthentic part of myself is when I get on a private jet and I'm like, hey guys, no cameras. What the fuck? No, camera the fuck it up, unless it's like a mid-size. And then I'm like, let's try these fucking buzz buttons.
Yeah,
let's try these.
All right, so, all right, here's what we're gonna do. At the same time, the four of us are gonna pop this in, chew them. You'll feel something.
Swirl it around in your mouth a little bit. Let it happen.
Let it
your
move
throat
around.
won't close. You're gonna be fine.
You're gonna be fine. This is not. But it's not fucking poisoning.
I'm not that worried. I'm excited.
Okay. And then as the palate changes, you'll be like, whoa, something's happening. You give it a beat, and then we'll have a drink.
Do we spit it out or swallow it?
No, eat the whole thing.
Swallow it. This is our fourth of the day. Okay.
Cheers. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks again for coming to the blackjack tournament.
Not yet.
Give it a second.
Not the most fun thing.
Nope.
Here we go.
It's happening.
It's starting to get cold, like a cold, icy hot.
Happening. Mine happened.
Yeah. That happened to me too.
Did you swallow it?
Swallow it. Yeah, swallow it.
You're fine.
Did you swallow it?
I swallowed it.
Yeah. It takes 2 to kill you.
It definitely should happen by now.
Yeah.
It's already happening to me. I'm starting to drool.
You feel something different, right?
Yeah, it feels like icy hot.
Yeah.
In my mouth.
And now it changes your palate completely.
And then this drink tastes so fucking good. I'm gonna top mine off.
Tastes like lemonade.
It's like a vacation.
It's a vacation.
Yeah.
It's like being on a roller coaster or having hot sauce where it overwhelms you and you can't think of other shit. It's like therapy should be. And it goes away.
I have to pee so bad.
Yeah, man.
It overwhelms you, right?
This is really good.
Yeah.
So one back there?
Buzz button.
One back there, this one right over there too.
Here.
Oh, it's tingling hard. This is my 4th of the day.
When a tongue touches the glass.
Go pissed, Tommy.
You know when you sit on the toilet for too long, your legs fall asleep?
Yeah.
My tongue feels like that.
Yeah.
My leg fell asleep on my fight with my wife last night, and I collapsed to the ground and she thought I had a stroke.
Oh my God.
Pretty aggressive, right?
Yeah, it is.
It goes away, but feel the roof of your mouth. Give it a second. Let be in it. You feel it tingling the roof of your mouth?
That's kind of nice.
It's kind of crazy, right?
It like picks up. It's like that 5 gum commercial
Yeah.
in your mouth.
Where you lay on the beads.
Yeah.
The bass is going off. It's a great reference.
If you eat these in
Hey, that's really good. That drink is.
yeah,
Does it taste that good without the?
you don't even need the thing.
You just wanted to do it.
It just fucks your mouth up. And
really
then this
does.
makes it go away. Like when you sip this, it makes it go away, so you drink it faster. This is my 5th of these today.
I feel like my tongue's turning like Violet from Willy Wonka.
So sobriety.
Yep. It was a great
Hey.
pivot.
But Beer Olympics, dude.
I'm in.
No, I know you're in. You showed up, and comments. Your finger was swollen. People like Bert is
It was
having a
bad.
rough time. And
Everyone, that's what changed me is that reading the comments, and I don't read comments. Victoria's here; she reads a lot of my comments, but you can't help it. You step into one fucking fun video that you think nothing bad could be here. Shane's getting tackled. Michael Chandler's jumping in the pool to help us. It's fun.
that was so fun.
And people are like, Bert doesn't look good, and you're like, huh? And then you don't believe it. And Tommy would tell me that fucking weekly. When he see me, he'd be like, I'm worried about you. I was in your pool because my feet were swollen and I couldn't get my ring off my finger, and I was trying to get my ring off my finger. And there's a video, there's a funny video of me going, this is the best third Tuesday of my life or whatever. But that moment, and it was like, and we're with Shane, I'm fucking going hard, partied all day, partied all night. And then like a week after, I was just like, I don't like the comments of, my thing isn't to not be full of life. My life, I want life to be all over me. I want to be joy and happiness and fun. I want people to see me and smile. I don't want people to see me and go like, ooh, I'm kind of worried. And I'll say this candidly, I know I overshare, but my daughters started getting worried. And we were on tour with my daughters, and both of them were worried. And Leanne was worried, and I was like, well, wait, that's not who I am, and it's not what I want to be. I always worked out. I benched 225 10 times at University of Nebraska right before I came and saw you. I remember bragging about it. Me and Shane were there, and Luis J. Gomez. I was like, I'm in great shape, and I was not. And so quit drinking for 3 months.
And you said that a lot, too. It was the crazy part.
Dude, I was insane.
He's like, I look good. And I was like, yeah. What?
I know you sent me a photo of it on my shoulders.
Yeah, like what are you thinking in your head? Are you hoping
well,
that,
it's like
how can he figure
also,
this out, or can I tell him? Or
Well, it was like he was. I get it because I think it kind of exists in everyone. It definitely exists in me where you can put on blinders for anything. You know, you start to be like kind of delusional about stuff. And I mean, I remember with Beer Olympics, I was like, what? He was like, I just sat in the pool. I didn't do anything. I was like, okay. And then I saw him, and I was like, what are we gonna do about this? And he was like, what? He's like, I look great. And I was like, okay. Like, you kind of, because you're not gonna like ride somebody, like, right? I was just like, okay. And then I think he heard it a lot. But then I think the good thing was that he didn't address it because it was a challenge. It wasn't like, I bet you can't do this, or like, because those things become like, those are temporary.
The fads.
And also it's like, you think you can do this or not? And it's like, you're kind of doing it because I said it to you. Like the things that last do it because it lasts because you want to do it. And I think he just got to the point where you wanted to do it. It wasn't somebody being like, you got to do this, or, it was, it bothered him of like, this is time to like shift it. But yeah, for a minute I was, the fuck are you? This is crazy. Like,
it's hard to hear notes about your life. It is. I remember you and Rogan were the two people that would say it to me the most, just honestly. Like, what are we going to do about this? And then I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, Red Band's fatter than me? I would say that. I would say
Just
that in
go
my
after
head.
somebody else.
Yeah, but like I default. I'd be like, Gillis is out of shape. Everyone's talking about. I'm like, we're both out of shape. We're big guys. And then I was like, I mean, it's really hard. Hindsight's the best because I just saw a video of me at University of Nebraska running routes with the coach, and he's throwing passes. I have a helmet on. I thought it was another dude. I was like, who's that fat fuck? And I was like, I ran like a fat guy. You know when like fat guys run and their arms are trying to catch up with their body?
Yeah.
And I'd waddle like a fat guy. And I was like, oh, that really isn't me. It's not who I am. It's never been who I am. But I let it become who I am. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, fuck. And then, for me, I had to do, look, cheat code to everyone. I journaled about wanting to drink. I journaled about wanting to eat. I just journaled because I had an impulse. Dieting is the same as drinking. If you want a snack, you open that refrigerator door and you go, I'm dieting, fuck, I can't have anything. It's the same thing as drinking. You just go, I want to drink. And you go, well, why do I want to do this? And I journal about it and I go, well, fuck, this is an impulse. It's just an impulse. It'll go away. And it would go away in 15 minutes. And then you go, I don't want to drink anymore. I'm glad I'm not drinking. And I did that for 3 months. And I got to be honest with you, I've had a hard time turning drinking back on the way I used to. Even today, I haven't really turned the corner with a full day of drinking. I have a hard time like pulling the trigger the way I used to. Like when we did Beer Olympics, it was the sweetest taste in my mouth. 3 beers out of a boot in 14 seconds.
It was a good time.
Dude,
you've also like your whole thing is that you're a life of the party guy. You're gonna drink. Like when we were making Beer Olympics, it was like, how do we revolve
The
this
machine.
around Bert and shit?
Yeah.
The machine, the whole thing. So was there like a time when you were doing the 3 months no drinking where like legitimately a piece of your identity and like going on tour and all that stuff was like, this is a little more difficult now?
No.
Bad
No.
question.
No, just candidly, I wish I was deeper of a person. I'm just not. Like, and also I was smoking weed the whole time, so like, it wasn't like I was sober. I just was not drinking. And then we went to the cruise. We did the cruise, fully loaded cruise, and you got the best people around you. Like you got the fucking Are You Garbage guys, Mark Norman, and fucking Big J Okerson, and you're smoking weed and drinking, and you're like, I'm back. I love that feeling of I'm back. I love that feeling. It's a slippery feeling, but the fucking day buzz you get when the sun's hitting your face and there's clouds moving forward and they're a little darker than the other clouds, and you go, oh, the sun's setting soon. Let's light a cigar, hit a joint. Whew, I can't fucking ever let go of that. But there's a fucking honest joy to sobriety where you do sit in your backyard and you go, how cool is it that I have these trees? You know, like where you're like, this is simple. It's very simple. I'm not shaking. I'm not nervous. I don't have any anxiety. I'm just sitting with a cigar looking at these trees going like, these are my trees. They weren't planted for me. They weren't. They were planted for another man. He never got to see what I get to see. But now I reap the benefit of this fucking tree. I love weed. I really do. I really do love weed. Weed is like such
How about this tree?
But you ever think about that? No, I've been to your backyard. Hold on, for real. Your backyard's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
Those trees weren't planted for you, right? But you reap the benefit of those trees. Next time you're in your backyard, take a second and think about the dude that was there when it was just a bullshit backyard with saplings. He had a farmhouse. And then you get all the fucking benefit. I'm obsessed with trees right now.
I planted a lot of those trees myself.
Oh,
Are you
boy.
serious?
Not personally, but I paid for it to get planted. So those are my fucking trees.
We interrupt this episode to bring you a movie releasing this Friday. Land of Bad is a heart-pounding, action-packed film that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Action Reloaded says, buckle up for Land of Bad, a pulse-pounding thriller. The film captures a mission that goes, oh shit, that goes Ari, A-W-R-Y. Awry? That goes awry. And Liam Hemsworth plays a young JTAC airman who has JTAC airman who has to rely on drone pilot played by Russell Crowe, who are his eyes in the sky. The film shows close-knit brotherhood that develops between soldiers. The mantra of leave no one behind is deep-rooted in all that serve, whether you're on the combat field or doing your job from a computer screen. Land of Bad is the first time brothers Liam and Luke Hemsworth have worked together on the big screen. Land of Bad only in theaters this Friday. It seems to be a movie about being for the boys. Go check it out. Land of Bad in theaters this Friday. Back to the episode.
Have you guys ever bought anything together? Like a treat for each other, like treat things.
When you guys started doing all the stuff, I told Will, I was like, dude,
I shut it down immediately.
Cameron and Mace just did it.
I shut it down immediately.
Oh, you shut it down.
Because hey, you see Bert and Tom, like they buy these things for each other and they basically got to one up every time. And I'm just thinking, I'm not doing it. Yeah.
Will, my first impulse is yes.
Yeah.
Always. Will's first impulse is no.
That's
always.
good. That's good chemistry, though.
That's me and
It's
Tom.
good. And like
I wanted our
joking
top of
about
our
the age
bubble to
thing,
be
but
butt
there's a lot
plugs.
of similarities between your guys' relationship and our relationship. Like, and I literally brought him with this idea, like, there's no way he's gonna say no, this is gonna be the greatest thing ever, of like giving each other gifts, because it's fun, even if we don't obviously steal your guys' like thing.
No,
you guys
it's
do.
not. It's like
Cameron and Mace just did.
Mace and Cameron.
Mace just gave Cameron
$20,000.
20 bands. He goes, "This is for every year we didn't talk."
Happy birthday. And then the great part was like he gave it to him. Cam was like, no shit. You know, he gives him an envelope and with 20 racks. And then he goes, I'm just going to take this money and buy some shit for you. I'm just going to buy you a gift with this money.
That's
It was
fucking
beautiful.
awesome.
It was awesome.
I'll tell you right now.
You were telling your story.
You just said no.
But also, we should park for a second. And like, you know, that vibe was alive at the table when you guys arrived. When you guys arrived at the table yesterday for blackjack, you were just like, all right, here you go. And then you're like, I remember he spotted you.
Yeah, because I had cash on me and Will had
That's
cash.
right. And at the end, you're like, here's yours. It was nice.
I got an idea.
Uh-oh.
This is a podcast idea, and you know I'm a marketing genius.
Go ahead.
You need a segment. You need to pick a day, whether it's one of your birthdays or just a day you guys love, the day you met, whatever it is.
The day you met.
And
Like
you
it's
need
in your
to-
fucking calendar.
September 17th.
Really?
No, it was probably April, right?
My birthday?
No, that's your birthday? I thought it was 19th.
It is the 19th. I thought that's where you were going with 17th. I was going to say, no.
Pick a
I do
day.
mix it up all the time.
Pick a day. And for all your fans, all your listeners, you should go birthday for the boys. And you should have your buddies buy each other presents for like a low number, like a solid, like
What's
$300, and just get your boy a present. Just get him a present. It's fun, man. We buy each other presents, such better presents than our wives will ever get us. That's true. We know each other so much better than they know us. When Tom and I started buying birthday presents, and they got out of control. I understand that. But like the first present was an electric bike, and it was just out of love. It was on my birthday.
That was cool.
And I was in my man cave, and Georgia and Isla came running in excited. And they're like, "Don't come out of the man cave." I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Tommy Buns bought you a present." And I was like, "What?" And they're like, hold on. And I remember Leanne was pissed. She got me a fucking iPad. I was like, I could have bought that. People buy themselves iPads.
She buy you a wallet one time?
She bought me a wallet. And I was like, who the fuck buys a man a wallet? I decide what's in my pockets, not you. And then I couldn't get rid of it because she's like, don't you love that wallet? And I was like, yeah. Fuck, it wasn't even like a Toomey. It was like Toomey or something. It wasn't even like a good fucking wallet. It was just like a fucking blue wallet. It was and fucking I go out and Georgia and Leanne and Isla are so excited, and I go out and it was a $3,000 electric bike. And it was the high end. By the way, they don't make electric bikes as good as this anymore because I think they set laws. So like it went like 40 miles per hour.
No shit.
And I was drunk as fuck, and I got on this electric bike and I fucking flew around the neighborhood. I drove it through yards. I had so much fucking fun. I called him. I said, I'm gonna get you a better present for your birthday. Every year we should do this. I should get you a better present, and then we got to top each other. And how much fun will that be? I then bought him a jet ski for $15,000.
Fucking rad.
It was
Really?
badass.
So
It was like 70 miles an hour.
I bought. We moved to Austin on the lake, and I arrive with a fucking jet ski there. Like the day you get there, you're like, "This is awesome, dude!" It was fucking so cool. I was like, "Shit, now I gotta top this."
So he got me a private jet. It was during the promotion for the machine, maybe, or
It was
something.
$56,000. Yeah.
And he spent $56,000.
It's not a
with a
midsize.
private jet from Minnesota to Austin, Austin to LA, and then LA back out to my next date. Because he knew my schedule was busy. He goes, I got it. And it was a G6 with the flight attendant who serves you fucking dinner. And I was like, okay. So then I bought him a race car for $100,000.
And then we got to dial this back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Six figures. That moment is when Taylor's like, "Hey, we got to do this for each other."
Yeah.
I think when I saw the race
like
car
two
was when I
hands
was
for
like,
Taylor too.
Hey, when you were like on your way down and like losing them in a row, like you'd go be 6,000 gone, 6,000 gone, 6,000 double, 12,000 gone, and Taylor'd be like, "Hey, I'm like getting down. I think I have like 2 left." But as the ones were happening, Tom like nudged me, like, "Jesus fucking Christ!" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a hard press. We're about to hard press."
"Oh, you guys were chirping in the background over there?"
Well, no, you're just sitting there noticing that.
No, we were chirping because I was like, this guy's fucking crazy. and I loved it, though. I loved it. Like, because you won big, then you went like almost all the way down. I was like, well, he fucking battled, and this is just what he gets.
What you gotta love too is when you're sitting there and he's almost like, if I lose this, I'm gonna hard press, and then he's like, I kind of want to lose right now, so I can hard press.
Yeah. It gives you more of a motivation.
Yeah.
The best feeling of blackjack is when you get to pull out your money and you're like, okay, I am now even, and you win a couple hands to where like you've made like half the amount.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, now I can do a little bit more. And the minute you get out of the woods of like, okay, I know I'm clear of not losing this, but I have like double the money I had. This is when we can start to get after it and get a little more aggressive on things. And that is when like the fun part happens.
You escalate fast though, because you start like I always start. I'm just like, okay, like just like feel it out. You get some wins, and it gives you the confidence to go, I'll raise this.
Yeah.
But then you go other places right away.
And it's funny you say that because if like Dana max bets everything.
This isn't. I gotta see this.
Well, tonight, right?
Tonight, right? You guys coming?
Yeah, sure.
Where?
Red Rock
Rock Casino.
I think Portnoy's going to be there. Big Cat's going to be there. I think McAfee's.
What time?
Big Cat's got to be all over this.
In between 10 and 11.
Does he love it too?
Done.
I know he's a big sports
like
guy.
playing cards.
It'll be an
but
electric.
They're much more sports.
Were you going to
betting
Jason Kelsey's party?
Man, we're invited. It sucks that we can't.
That's the
make
most
everything
important part is
fucking
getting
happen.
invited, just to feel like you're wanted.
I know.
But it's the
I
party-
hate not being able to be everywhere all at once.
The issue for me with the parties, the Vegas parties, is last year we went to the Drake party, and it was after your show.
I remember
and
that.
we were going to go, and you wanted to go, but Leanne was like, "If you want to," she gave you one of those, and so you ended up not coming. No shot at Leanne.
She was like, I'm telling you the answer you should say out loud to your friends, but you can do whatever you want.
Exactly. Do what you want. It's like, I know exactly
Do
what
what
that
you
means.
want is code across the board.
Across the board.
All religions, all races, every region understands what that means.
Yes, exactly.
Do what you want.
And we got there, and you had we had the passes, we had like the get in entry fee or whatever, the tickets, and we thought, oh, it'd be easy, simple, just walk right in. And just the process of getting in, feeling the zombie apocalypse, everyone's trying to get in, and it just was kind of like uncomfortable the entire time to where when you finally did it, it's like loud.
Yeah.
And then the Drake part was really cool. Like him doing his thing and being like from me to the wall, like that was really cool. But like,
What do you think of that hog?
yeah, now I do on the daily.
That man has it all, bro.
Yeah.
We were talking about it at the table.
Yeah, it's one of those things too. Like if I had something like that, it would have been leaked a long time ago.
1,000%. Also,
can
wouldn't be in
I have
comedy.
I have a video out there in the world. I have a
Would not
video
be
out there in the world
comedy.
right now that hasn't surfaced on the internet.
Really?
But it's out there.
Really?
Well, yes.
Don't give him,
What, like an ex?
I'm a big get in front of guys thing. I'm a big get in front of guys thing.
Is this an ex-girlfriend thing or what?
No, it was my rookie year, and some girl came over, and I was receiving fellatio.
What?
And I took a video, and I was like, looking, I was like, eh. And I went to send it to one of my buddies as a joke, and I accidentally sent it to a different girl. And she was like, yo, what is this? And I was like, please delete that. I'm so sorry. I was like, the next day, anxiety through the roof. And then halfway through my rookie year, Michael Griffin, who played at UT, played for the Titans for like 10 years.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I was at a charity event last night, and I saw some girls show me a video of you. And I was like, oh, fuck. And like every 3-4 years, there's a resurfacing of someone telling me they've seen that video.
Yeah.
So just know,
How much did you weigh at the time?
I was 310. And trust me, it's nothing special. It was not, it's not one of those, it's not a Drake. And it's one of those things that's
I
going
sent this to
hurt
Tom.
when it happens, but you guys now know.
But this is better. The way you're doing it's better.
Yeah,
I sent
yeah.
this to Tom. We bought Shane Gillis. We bought him a watch to do our show. I sent a picture to Tom of the watch today.
He does this all the time, by the way. This is
I could not stop laughing.
He was like, check out the watch we got. And I'm like, yeah, I think I remember it.
It's a small watch.
Yeah.
It's a small face.
How about Shane Doom?
What?
Yeah.
How about him like just killing the game right now?
Killing
Dude,
it.
It's
he's
fucking
now,
awesome,
now
man.
hosting SNL.
The ultimate fuck you.
I told him, I go, you win. You win.
It's like SNL felt like they didn't need you, so they canned you. And now SNL is in such a spot that we're like, oh, we need Shane. Like, that's the ultimate.
When does this come out?
Finger.
It'll probably come out relatively quickly.
Yeah, I'm so excited for the monologue.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, what are you going to, like, because
It's gonna be Chappelle.
there's so many ways you can,
coming at people.
you can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And you know he's going to come firing all cylinders.
I mean,
I
it's
heard
just
he's
like-
going to go, welcome to Saturday Night Live. That would be gangster. Fucking really lean into it. I want him. I like, that's it. You got to do it. I mean, and not that hard, but like fucking, he's.
I told him that you should start with Ching Chong Ping Pong. Guess who's back? That'd be a crazy opener.
That would be a crazy opener.
Yeah.
Or like, you know how he does the Down syndrome, like, oh, it nicked me. You just be like, oh, they tried jinking me out here.
Hey,
There's so
They
many.
chinked me a little bit. I was down.
There are honestly
we're about to
there's
get
so
canceled.
many
Yeah.
there's so many ways you can play it.
yeah.
And you can also just do a straight
He
set.
could just do stand up. I'll be
just
happy with
stand up
that.
and,
He
like,
could just do stand up.
kill
His
it.
new what he's
knows
working
that
on right now is fucking brilliant. I would love that and be like, fuck you. I don't even need to address this. I'm past it. That would be cool. I'd be cool with he can do anything. He can do no wrong. I talked to Leanne. I think we're gonna fly out. Are you guys gonna fly out?
Are you flying us out? Tom?
G6.
G6 is.
You guys aren't gonna go out
G6,
to the
hey, G6 for the
fucking
boys, for
SNL
the
after
Bears.
party?
Flight attendant
For the boys, for the Bears?
for the Bears.
Are you gonna fly?
That's
out?
our nicotine company for the Bears.
You're going?
For the Bears?
No,
No. Bussin' with the Bears.
2 bears in a bus.
2 bears in one bus.
Bears in a bus.
2 bears, 1 bus is not bad.
2 bears, 2 buses. Wait, are you going?
Yeah, we're gonna fly out.
Bussin.
Are you?
Well, I was with him. He didn't. Not today. He found out, but when I was doing Winston Churchill Day, he pulled me aside and he's like, "Can I tell you a secret?" And I was like, "I'm not good at secrets. So if you don't want everyone to hear it, don't tell me."
This is also very true. Something that you should keep in your minds.
And
Go
I was
ahead.
like, and he was like, "I'm doing SNL," and I was like, "I have to tell Leanne." He goes, "You can tell Leanne." I go, "I'm telling Tommy in like 5 minutes." And he goes, "All right, hang on. You can't tell everyone." And I was like, "Does Rogan know?" Because I'm calling him. And he was like, "Buddy," and I was like, "This is." I was more excited than he was. I was more excited because I think for him, I don't know. I was there when I watched. I'm not. I have no credit for his career whatsoever, but I will say when people were bailing on him, like I definitely didn't, and I brought him out when people were saying, you know, hey, it's little. I was like, fuck that. He's my boy. Like, I love Shane. I met Shane a long time ago when I did Calling Sick to Work in Philly. I got him day drunk, and he did the first time he ever did stand up drunk. And and he said to me, I remember, you find a moment when you fall in love with a dude. He was like, yeah, my girlfriend's going to be pissed. I said, what's her name? He goes, well, her nickname's Big Tuna. And I started laughing so hard. And I go, you're dating a chick named Big Tuna? And he was like, she plays rugby. And I was like, oh, I bet she fucking does. And it just, that one sentence as a comic, oh, that guy's good. He's got all the shit you need to be great. You're right. And I love that dude. And I love seeing him succeed. I love it. I celebrate that guy. Every day I'll text him. And you know what he's good at? If we're going to celebrate Shane for a second, he's good at texting. Like, he'll send you a text just like at the airport having beers, you're one of the top 5 hangs. Like, just like a solid text guy. Well, I'm not good at that. Tommy's good at emojis. Like, he'll be like thumbs up, fire,
eggplant.
Eggplant.
Yeah.
I'm not good at any of that.
One of the things I'm most proud of. I didn't know him when that shit went down initially. I didn't know him. You know, he's just like a name I didn't know. You know, and that whole story blew up. And then I remember watching back then. I go, I want to see who this person is. Like the story's about. I watched like a little 3-minute clip of him doing stand up, and I was like, this guy's like, he's really fun. You can watch a 3-minute clip and you go, this guy's really funny. Mm-hmm. And I'd met him sometime thereafter, and then I saw his the first special he put was a YouTube special, and I told him, I was like, this is one of the best specials I've seen in like years, like one of the best specials of the last 5 years. And then to watch his ascent. And like, where somebody you go, it genuinely makes me laugh, like really makes me laugh. Like, I really enjoy the guy. And then to see it go to this level, but also just as a story, like a story arc of a place goes, you're hired, you're fired actually. We're leaving you on the street, goodbye. and then they're asking you to come back. I mean, there's not a better story, right? I mean, it hasn't even come full circle yet, but it's still just like an amazing story.
And let's just say, and this is a sidebar in this conversation, he's amazingly fucking talented as an actor. He really is. And
sketches are so.
Listen, Shane Gillis, if he's listening to this, knows
Gillis and
I've been his boy in studio meetings since day one. I've been showing those clips to fucking execs. This is the guy. This is the fucking guy. Those fucking clips are so good. Gillian Keeves is so fucking funny. He's amazingly talented. He's a great comic, and he's a really solid dude. He's a solid dude. He's not a dick when he shows up. He's fun. He's lighthearted. He has a good time. Man, I like, and that's the other thing is like, I do Fully Loaded. I bring my daughters out on the road with us, and like I don't bring bad men around that group. I work with all women. I have 15 women I work with, and my daughters. Shane Gillis is the most solid dude. My favorite Shane Gillis story. Last night at Fully Loaded, first year, Shane's doing it, and he goes up to Georgia and her best friend Daisy. My daughter, she's like 18, and he's like, "You guys drinking beers?" And they go, "No." And he goes, "Come on, I'm not your dad. You guys are sneaking beers." And they go, "No." He goes, "I'm not gonna fucking tell anyone. If you're sneaking beers, tell Uncle Shane." We've been sneaking beers. Shane Gillis sits down next to me. He goes, "Georgia's drinking beers." I fucking love it. I fucking love that dude.
Yeah, he's all time.
I'm buzzed now.
Yeah. Dude, I was sitting here like, yo, I'm a little buzzed.
I know, it's kind of nice.
I love it.
The little flower thing is good.
Shane is Shane.
Yeah, you guys have to go to KFC Radio.
Last time.
Just hey, the reason will be they were late. They were late to the. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Hold on. A little
You
shot.
try keeping Bert under an hour.
Hey, can we get Tommy? Let's get an official commit. Can we get Tommy at the Beer Olympics this year?
Tommy?
Yeah.
Tommy, make an official
June
commit.
25th.
June 25th.
Official commitment.
I have
Bussin' with the Boys Beer Olympics.
Okay. All right.
100%?
I'm in Europe, but I'll fly back. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's going to be hell.
Hey,
Thank you guys, man.
That was awesome.
that was a really fun fucking talk.
That was awesome.